Hey guys, right, 2 events to go. Sorry, something popping up on my screen. How are we doing? Are we ready for this roller coaster to keep going? It has been epic so far. 4 events done of this year's final of World's Strongest Man. Here comes Auntie Liz.
Oh, sorry.
Is your hair okay?
Yes, I had to have a quick outfit change because it turns out I was giving people much more of an eyeful than I had intended. We are here now. We are fully dressed and we are raring to go. What an exciting final! What an exciting whole competition this has turned out to be.
It's been an epic World's Strongest Man so far. I have been on the edge of my seat, as you guys probably have seen.
Yes.
Breaking Liz's seat at one point.
Yes. And we have, for anyone joining us who isn't aware, we have the standings so far. Let's get those up on the screen. Here we go. It took me about 10 attempts to get this right. So standings after event 4. Mitch Hooper is currently in the lead with a, what is that? 3.5 point lead over Alexei Novikov, who's in second place. Just half a point behind Alexei is Tom Stoltman on 30.5 points. Then 5 points behind him is Trey Mitchell on 25.5 points. Right behind him is Evan Singleton on 25 points. Then Pavlo Kordiaka currently in 6th place with Brian Shaw in 7th, Matt Ragg in 8th, Luke Stoltman in 9th. And unfortunately, Jaco Schoonwinkel having now withdrawn from the competition after an injury he suffered in the dumbbell. But we wish him all the best, Jaco.
Absolutely. Hopefully it's not too bad. He's been amazing just to get the final. First time there. Yeah. Unbelievable.
In Brian Shaw's group, nonetheless.
He won the group as well.
Yeah, so exactly.
Hell of a performance by Jaco.
Oh, but we hope you're all feeling refreshed and have had a chance to eat. I forget, though, people, they can eat while watching us. Yeah. We're the ones who can't eat.
We don't want to be eating in front of you.
Mukbang style. Cybernetic Strongman. This is by far the most exciting World's Strongest Man since the Boxy and Shaw rivalry. Thanks so much
Big
for the coverage.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you for joining us.
It's been epic. I mean, Tom Stoltman doing amazing there. He is still in with a shot of winning this. He's got 2 very good events to come. Novikov, if anything, I feel like Novikov is slightly off his best right now.
I think so.
And he's still in 2nd place. Yeah. Mitch Hooper is doing incredibly well. Evan is doing awesome. Trey Mitchell has been solid. I think Trey's just lost a few points on that dumbbell event. That seems to be the case without having like Tom has a banker yet to come and potentially 2. You know, he's an amazing truck puller. I think some of us seem to forget that. But the Stones, he's not lost in the last few years at World's Strongest Man.
David, thank you for the super chat. Do you reckon Evan has a chance for podium? How many points behind is
he? It's not impossible, but I think it will be hard based off the next 3 events and how far behind he is.
Yeah.
He's still a good amount behind Tom, I think, who is in 3rd.
Yeah.
I'll quickly check. Okay. You had it up on there anyway.
I did have it up on there, but you know me, dear. When it comes to real world stuff, my brain is a sieve. Yeah. I can only recall the older facts and stats, not what's happening right now.
Yeah, he's half a point off Trey, who's in 4th, and he's 5.5 off Tom. It would be very hard to catch Tom and Novikov, I think, based off the events, but not impossible.
Someone else would have to have a really, really bad last 2 events.
Yeah.
Julian, thank you for the super chat. That dumbbell event was insane. Not sure I've recovered yet.
We haven't.
I don't think I'll ever recover, to be honest. And I can't believe they only scheduled 45 minutes for it.
Crazy.
Oh, I guess maybe they didn't expect so many people to...
We're still waiting to just have official confirmation of when the next event is starting, but we've been told 20 past 12 local time, isn't it? Which is 15 minutes.
And Rich, that is correct. So if 1st and 2nd place are tied, then whoever was best on the Atlas Stone out of those 2 people tied would win the overall competition. So that's the last event rule, even though the last event is always Atlas Stones. It used to be count back. So they would then look at who had the most first places. If they've got a tie there, then they'd look at 2nd places. That's how Zadrunas beat Brian in 2010. Zadrunas won on count back. So
I prefer the old system because it favors being good at multiple events.
Yeah.
Whereas the Stones system, or the last event system, I should call it, it's pretty much become the Stone system because it's always on the Stones at Worlds.
It's like another way that Stones are sort of favored over any other event. Bog. Whoops. We knew what you meant, don't worry, but I wanted to read it as it was.
So many people joined the last live. They did, Nicola. It was unbelievable.
Over 10,000 people watching us watch something for the
I don't think it quite went as high as 10, but I think there was 8,000 at one point.
Oh, was it not? I thought it maybe 10. I don't know.
It was still a lot.
It was a lot, yeah. It's weird though. You come desensitized to the number. It's a good job, really, because otherwise
you used to look at the number and freak out. So it's good that you could have.
Yeah,
Liz would be sat here. There'd be 200 people waiting, and she'd be like shaking.
Yeah, I would.
And now there's 2,200 people, and we had 8,000 earlier.
Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it?
It's funny how things become normal. But if we were in an arena and I was dragged out in front of 8,000 people, I'd probably turn to mush on the spot. I'd die. I'd liquefy. I'd just be a puddle. John, thank you for the super chat. Sat waiting for a flight in Gatwick, and this is passing time perfectly. Thanks for everything you do, Big Loz and Liz. Big love.
I hope you're going somewhere nice, buddy.
Yeah, very nice. Been a couple of weeks since we've been to an airport. Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah, we're not going to an airport for a while now.
No. Well, next month. No, June. Yeah. Matthew, thank you for the super chat. My wife and I have been waiting for 5 hours at the start line. They just moved the whole event forward and now we can't move. This whole thing is clown shoes. Oh no. Oh, honestly, we're hearing so many stories like this, both on here and on our Instagram inboxes as well.
Does anyone that's there know what time the next event is starting? If you could have comment.
We've been told 20 past 12, which would be in 14 minutes.
I'm not 100% sure.
No. Fingers crossed we've got it right, though. It's very hard to keep track. Dempsey Dunn, thank you for the super chat. Hooper just passed away. The moose looks super
had
focused.
A quick chat with the moose.
Oh, he just passed away.
Don't listen to Auntie Liz. I had a quick chat with Mitch. He's focused. He's very, very focused. He knows there's work to be done. We had a good chat about what he needs to do on this event, and he is focused.
Very alive as well. My goodness. Thank you. Dan, thank you for the super chat. Amazing to watch people dumbbell pressing my bench press. That event was just exhilarating to listen to. Maybe my favorite broadcast yet. Awesome. Thank you, Dan. Yeah, it's like, well, it's more than my deadlift. So it is quite wild what these guys are able to do.
It really is.
Liz has done a Clark Kent and had a quick outfit change. I might change again for the stones if we have time. Presumably they'll push the stones back because the guys, they do need a little bit of a rest to be at their absolute best. And it's not their fault when things overrun. So hopefully they'll get a little break before they out the stones later. Time for an outfit change.
I'm just trying to keep an eye on here in case anything's missed.
Okay.
So excuse me if I'm not looking at the screen, guys. I'm just trying to make sure none of these comments are missed.
Everyone can look at your lovely head instead. Well done, guys, for the coverage of World's Strongest Man. Your hard graft is greatly appreciated. And you guys sticking with us is appreciated too. You know, it would be, I guess, weirder if we were doing this in front of 50 people.
Yeah.
So it's really nice that you're all here with us. Even people in Myrtle Beach are here with us. Bainesbud, thank you for the super chat. Not going to lie, Big Loz saying jolly good show brings a smile. Say it again, Lozzie.
Jolly good show, old chap.
You got more than you bargained for there. Oh no, loads of RIP comments.
What have you done to the moose?
I know. Sorry.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh dear. Something I found out since I just click on there so I don't lose things. Since it's been a 6-event final, we have never seen anyone win 4 events at the World's Strongest Man final. Mitch Hooper has currently won 3. Well, 2 joint outright and joint first, yeah. But 3 first places overall. Could he make it 4? Is it possible with the bus pool next?
It would
bus toss, someone's saying.
Be incredible. It's this competition. I saw someone ask how Tom did. I'll just kind of quickly go through how people did. So Evan and Mitch were the only guys to get the 140-kilo dumbbell. We had Luke Stoltman, Pavlo Kordiaka, Novikov, and Tom Stoltman, which was huge for Tom, hitting the 132.5. Unfortunately, Brian Shaw did not manage to get the 132.5. And Jaco Schoonwinkel was the only athlete that didn't manage a dumbbell and unfortunately hurt his knee in the process.
Yeah.
So overall, that leaves the standings going into this event with Mitch Hooper in first place with 34.5 points, Alexei Novikov on 31, Tom Stoltman just behind on 30.5. Then it's a drop down to Trey Mitchell on 25.5. Evan Singleton just half a point behind on 25. Pavlo Kordiaka is 20.5. Brian Shaw is on 17.5. Matt Ragg on 14.5, as is Luke Stoltman. And Yako, having pulled out now, is on 5.5. So really, it looks like it could be Mitch Hooper, Alexei Novikov, or Tom Stoltman to take the win. Trey Mitchell and Evan Singleton still have a chance. They would just need those three guys at the top to really mess up.
Reese, thank you for the super chat. Winner predictions going into the final two events. Obviously, you're not
right now. I don't want to predict anything.
Okay.
I'm stressed. I predicted before the competition that the top three right now would be the top three overall. I changed my mind after the heats, and I kind of bought into Brian Shaw maybe getting on the podium. But before the competition, I did say the top three that are leading would be the top three.
Okay.
But
yeah.
No, that's
Mitch,
Mitch,
Alexei,
Tom, and Alexei.
Tom, yeah.
And still any one of them can win. I think Tom Stoltman has a great chance because these next two events are really good for him, and he did way better on the dumbbell than expected. Novikov is still in with a chance, and he did worse on the dumbbell than expected. And Mitch Hooper just keeps performing. So it's going to be one of those three. I can't see anyone else really getting into that battle.
Not for the win, but possibly
just looking at
podium.
the events.
Yeah.
I think it would be hard to see them. It's not impossible, and anything can happen, and everyone needs to keep performing. We've seen things happen, but it looks like one of those three for me. Obviously, being involved with Mitch, I want him to take the win, but it's not secure yet. Tom Stoltman is incredible at stones. He's an incredible truck puller. He could very legitimately win these next two events. Last year, Novikov won the truck pull. I think he looks just off a little bit from his best.
Yeah.
And Novikov sometimes underperforms on stones. And Mitch is, these are new to him. He's kind of not done. He's done one truck pull in the final of Worlds last year, which wasn't so good. We have worked very hard on it, like we have with all these events. And the good thing for Mitch is he's going to get to go last, so he'll know what to beat. But he's got to put the performance in. He needs to be, at worst, I think he needs to be 2 or 3 points ahead of Tom going into the stones. He can't be 1 point ahead of Tom.
No.
Because if Tom is only 1 point behind,
Tom beats him on stones 9 times out of 10.
99.99%
of the time.
Yeah. And then there'll be, even if Mitch came second to Tom, Tom would win. Because of the stone rule.
Yeah. Right.
So it's all to play for.
Ben, thank you for the super chat. Does the back have to be straight for a lockout on the dumbbell press? Hooper seemed to be leaning back. Also a big fan of the moves. Honestly, from what we could see from our angle, there were some interesting referee calls. We were not at the athletes meeting, but 9 times out of 10, the athletes have to have, normally you would expect feet in line, weight under control, eye contact with referee.
This is why I want a rule book. Yeah. I saw a number of reps that maybe were questionable by a number of athletes. I am not the referee. I'm not there. And the athletes will just do as the referee says. But I've said many times, we need a rule book, and refereeing needs to be the same all the time.
Yeah,
that's something that I'm quite passionate about. And if you're a regular of the channel, you'll have seen. But whilst the competition is going on, they have to go by whatever the referee says. But I saw a number of reps that were questionable.
Yeah.
By a number.
Well, there's a few times I questioned it and then saw the athletes celebrating. It's like, oh, they did get it. So yeah, we definitely saw some interesting reps. But from our angle, I mean, we
do not have the best angle.
No. So I'm very interested to see when they put together a video inevitably of every lift on the max dumbbell. I would like to see that. 787 Speed Breaks, thank you for the super chat. Do these delays affect the athletes' focus, mindset, and nutrition plans?
It's hard for a lot of athletes having these breaks. Some athletes quite like the break because it allows them a little bit more recovery time. Other athletes hate it. It plays on their mind. They can think too much. It's something that you just got to get experienced with. But, these are the best in the world. They've got to cope with it.
Yeah. Adam, thank you for becoming a channel member. Super chat here from Brent. Thank you. Have a small pittance for every time I've hit skip ads while watching all your videos. That's cool. Thank you for the awesome work. Thank you, Brent. And Scotty Lace, thank you for the super chat. Is World's Strongest Man more important to Mitch than the Arnolds? That was a question for you. I answered something about Mitch earlier and his wants. And
I think World's Strongest Man is the most important competition to every athlete.
Yeah, but that's not to say that Arnold's wasn't important.
Strongman, your dream is to be the world's strongest man. I've been lucky enough to win 8 international shows, some of which have been hugely, big shows. I would give them all up to win one World's Strongest Man. Every athlete wants to win World's Strongest Man.
There you go. Addy, thank you for the super chat. You are lifesavers. I'm driving cross country in Iceland and listening to you while I drive. Oh, that's cool.
Drive safely, buddy, and thank you for tuning in.
Never been to Iceland either. Scott McGregor, thank you for the super chat. Good on Evan. Not up top, but he's really starting to live up to his potential.
Evan
100%.
showing everyone what he can do, and it's so good to see.
Yeah, really happy for Evan. He's had a great showing so far. And we've never seen Evan in a World's Strongest Man final. He also hasn't been at a Rogue Invitational or an Arnold's. The only time we've seen him in a bigger lineup is at the Shore Classic.
I think we're going to see him at those shows soon.
I think so. I hope so. I do like Evan. Who's more nervous for Mitch, Liz or Loz? Definitely Loz. Definitely. I'm chill. My athlete's out. Michael, thank you for the super chat. Great work, guys. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you very much.
When will it start? It is due, as far as we know, to start in 5 minutes. Hopefully, we'll hear from people on the ground very soon.
The MC is just talking to the crowd right now, apparently. So that means things are starting to get going.
They will likely do the TV links, if not already done, and then we can get going with this one. It's very exciting. How heavy is the bus? 20,000 kilos, but that doesn't really mean much, to be honest, because it's more about the surface and
It'll be tough.
Yeah. John, thank you for the super chat. Liz, I know you're not a big lifter yourself, but if you were a strong woman, what do you think would be your banker event? Oh, what do you think, Lozzie? Answer it kindly.
Well, it's hard to say because you don't really train. But when you did train a little, your overhead was pretty good. Liz has put 55 kilos overhead for a few reps on the push press. And for that time, you're at the lightest you'd ever been.
I probably weighed about 50 kilos.
Yeah.
No, 55, 54,
kilos
55. Yeah. It was body
so
weight.
You were pretty good. She was quite explosive. She had a good coach, to be fair. But you weren't training for strength specifically.
No.
She just was trying to get in shape. But you've never really tried any strongman.
No.
I know you've messed around throwing a sandbag and you maybe picked up some like farmers before.
Yeah.
But it's too hard to say because she's never pushed it. So I actually think Liz could be decent at a few events if she trained for strongwoman, but it's just not in your interest, is it?
Or my time schedule, but thank you. RJ, thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. We've been on the edge of our seats for the final results. Love you guys. Ramsey and JJ are looking forward to the next event. So are Loz and Liz. We cannot wait. Thank you for joining us. Can Luke beat 7th? Where is Luke points wise? Can he
put the points up again on the screen?
All right, hold on, guys. They're going up.
Down a bit more.
There we go.
So this is the current scores.
Oh, he could.
He could.
Oh, although 6 is a big jump.
It'll be difficult to get.
Mathematically,
he could potentially catch up with Brian, but I don't think he will based on the events.
Yeah, I was going to say with these events, probably not. He could overtake Matt Ragg possibly, although Matt Ragg has proven he's very good at stones.
Luke's good at stones as well.
He is.
Like Brian is very good at stones. It depends how Brian's looking tired now. That's probably the only thing with Brian. But he's a decent truck puller and he's an amazing stone. Oh, he's a very good truck puller. What am I talking about? Brian, would have loved a truck pull and stones in any comp in his prime.
Yeah,
he's feeling it. He is battered, but he's still fighting. I think any one of those three could still end up in 7th.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to get beyond that because I think Pavlo will be solid at the truck pull and decent at the stones, but he is catchable. He's certainly not like uncatchable.
Yeah, he's not in a safe position.
Evan and Trey will be too much to catch.
Yeah, I think so too. Fred is in the house. Thank you, Fred. Update new picks, Trey, Evan, Mitch in that order. Fred has the worst takes ever.
Yeah, we love Fred, but his predictions are awful. But he's a man that goes with his heart. Definitely.
Yeah, that's fine. And again, I am nuts. Team USA.
Yes.
He's probably the one that gets all the chanting going. Oh dear.
Although he did put a Canadian in there that time. So
he did, yeah.
And he's very supportive of our channel, so he can't hate all of us too much.
No. Adrian, thank you for the super chat. Great job, Loz and Liz. Loving your work. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Liz and Loz, sorry.
That's fine.
There we go. Body weight overhead for a few reps is mega. Yeah, thank you. There we go.
Yeah, it is.
Let's give Mama Shachley a big thanks for letting us have Loz and Liz all week. Yes, she is upstairs right now bathing our youngest, and she has cooked us a lovely Iranian meal to eat afterwards.
She is a very good mum.
As a treat. When she turned up, we were eating ready meals because literally we had no time to cook. She's like, "Don't eat that. I've cooked for you." It's like, "Oh, don't worry. We'll
eat it again later."
Yeah.
Who won the dumbbell lift? If you didn't just see that then. So Mitch and Evan were tied first in the dumbbell. Real surprise on the dumbbell. I was expecting Alexei Novikov to take the win.
Yeah.
Mitch Hooper and Evan taking the win, lifting 140 kilos. Then we had Luke, Pavlo, Novikov, and Tom Stoltman tied for the next position. And then it was Trey, Brian next.
Yeah.
And then Matt Ragg.
Yeah.
And Jaco Schoenwinkel was last.
Gud, thank you for the super chat. What do you think about Kordiaka's shield carry?
Sorry, Matt Ragg was tied with Brian and Trey.
Okay. Yeah, so we've seen it from a couple of different angles. We can clearly see Pablo does not go over. It appears that he gets a good call down. Like when we were watching it live at the time, we were surprised about the punishment, if you like, the penalty for missing that line. It was like 19.8 meters. I would like to know because it looked like the referee was looking after both lanes, which doesn't seem right at all. It should be one for each lane so they can clearly say in the line sight of the athlete, because they cannot see their feet. If their face is to the side, maybe they also can't see the referee. You were saying it'd be nice to see them have something to go around.
Yeah, I think you kind of just give them a cone, but make it look better than a cone, and something that they actually have to go around rather than a line that your foot crosses.
Yeah,
that would make much more sense, and it gets rid of that element.
Yeah, but we do feel very, very bad for Pavlo. Regardless of anything else, we feel bad for him because he's a really good guy. He's a really hard-working
Someone's
athlete.
Saying, can Tom still win? Absolutely,
yeah,
Tom can
he's
still
very
win.
much still in contention for the win. And the dumbbell was good for Tom.
Yeah, Caitlin asking who my athletes are. So in the final, just Mitch Hooper. I had Bobby Thompson, had Coco, and Fadi El Masri. They were my 4 athletes competing at Worlds this year. So 2 complete newbies. Bobby, very, very unlucky to not make the final. He was amazing. And if it was a full competition, he actually would have been 5th overall.
Yeah, when we
just in a very tough comp after the heats. And then Mitch is in the final.
Yeah. Who would you bet your money on now? Big Tommy. Oh, it's hard. I would put a $5 on Tom and a $5 on Mitch.
I am backing my man. Like Mitch Hooper wants it. He's focused. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Tom win as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see Novikov. One of those 3 is going to win. I've got to stick with Mitch. I believe he can do it. He overperformed on what I thought he was capable of on the dumbbell. Our goal going in was 132. That was a PB. He went and did 140 and had a crack at 145, which I thought was crazy, especially when he tried it again. But it's his truck pulling has been working really hard. Just gave him a last bit of advice before we came on here for that event, because it's a new event for him. People seem to forget that.
Yeah.
And then when it comes down to the stones, it's all about who wants it. He's a decent stone lifter. He's not as good as, say, a Tom Stoltman. Tom Stoltman, you'd be looking as banking that event. But if he can be ahead of Tom by 2 points or more, then we've got a good chance.
Mitchell, thank you for the super chat. What chance would you give Tom for the 3P?
Still a good chance.
Do you think Alexei can still win with these 2 events? I feel like probably
I think
not.
Alexei needs to win the truck pull.
He does.
And I'm not convinced he will.
I'm more worried. I think he can win the truck pull, but it's the stones.
I think Alexei is the worst of the 3 at stones.
Yeah.
I think Mitch is the least experienced of the 3 on both events.
Yeah.
But Mitch is a little bit more solid, I think. I think Tom has the best 2 last events.
Yeah. But Mitch he is behind in points.
Yeah. So it depends. Like Tom has to focus on what he needs to do. Mitch doesn't have to beat Tom. He just needs to make sure he's not far behind.
To him. Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah. If he's
other people
second
get between
to him
him,
each time, it's not a problem.
That could be a problem.
Man, no matter what though, it's gonna be wild. So it is due to start any minute. It was supposed to start 4 minutes ago, which means hopefully they're not too far away. Oh dear.
So Mateus is doing a bus test. He's pulling the truck to check how it is.
Oh,
that is a very good truck puller to test it.
Yeah, very good.
Kilishkovsky, someone we would love to have seen in the final. He could have just not his normal self at the moment.
No. And someone asked about the order for this event with so many ties. Honestly, not sure. They might do them like for the guys that tied in the same order that they were in the dumbbell, possibly. But
I'm not sure.
We don't have the running order. Ryan, thank you for the super chat. Great job to you two and Mitch, making us proud. Awesome. Presumably a fan from Canada. Could be Canada's first world strongest.
What are you saying today?
What am I saying about Mitch? Oh, goodness me. It's been a long week, guys. I need to put my head in a fridge. Marianne, thank you for the super chat. Gateway to Iceland has the best small bus tours, 20 folks or less. Thanks for creating community for this merry band of strength lovers. That's so cool. We're on a bus, Lozzie. We're all over the world right now. That's really awesome.
I hope you guys are having a good time.
Yes, thank you for tuning in. You could make a laser which makes a sound when you break it. I would like to see more technology used in
things like stones, where like if you load them, there's like a sensor that kind of stops each. So you record each stone at a certain time.
That would be good, especially with the fingers. It was like 1.5 seconds between 4 or 5 guys. It was wild.
Look at this by Scott. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you. World's Strongest Man should organise mini events for the spectators between events. I might attend one year if they did a VW golf pool and sack of spuds press for reps. The winner gets World's Strongest Fan trophy. That would be cool. I think more than anything, though, it just needs to be more provisions, like more seating, more fencing areas where people can not be 30 deep. I mean, I've seen some pictures and it is crazy. I've never seen World's Strongest Man like that.
Matthias would still beat everyone in the truck pull. He'd be good. He's a good truck puller.
Very, very good. Connor, thank you for the super chat. Love following all weekend with you guys. Awesome work. Great fun. One day we'll get the watch along we all want, but we can't beat World's Strongest Fan on New Year's Day.
I hope we do get the watch along. Thank you very much, Connor, for the super chat.
Yeah.
What's this? John James Matthews.
Loz is far too humble on his coaching. I know Mitch has incredible raw talent, as showed at last year's World's Strongest Man, but Loz has taken into a consistent, headstrong, and formidable athlete. So good work.
Thank you very much.
Loz
John
is a very, very good coach. And anyone who's coached by Loz knows he's probably the most responsive and caring and attentive coach there is.
Loz, as a fellow arm wrestler, and you've been dabbling in it, if Brian Shaw had training, do you think he would dominate? I think he'd be very good. I think he would need a year or so, maybe 3 years, but he could be very, very good.
Hater XXX is with us. Thank you for the super chat. We've decided Hater is totally the wrong name. Thank you both for keeping us entertained this week. It's meant a lot to be able to watch these last 2 days while I'm down. We hope you're feeling okay, Hater.
I think Jamie's causing problems in the chat.
What's Jamie doing?
I don't know. I can just see.
It's just being very nosy.
I don't know what he said, but no, I don't know if it was towards us or someone else, but none has been taken.
No. We don't know. I'm late. Has it started? No, Toby, you've not missed anything at all. It was supposed to start, well, it was supposed to start hours ago, but with the rescheduled time, it was supposed to start 8 minutes ago, but no one's been up yet. So you've not missed anything. Ross, thank you for the super shouts. Shout out to both of you, absolute legends. Special thanks to Loz for his coaching, a true gent and always great advice. Join if you want the best. There
thank you very much, buddy.
Nice. There we go. Travis, thank you for the super chat. The best strongman channel ever. Thank you. You guys, you're going to give us big heads. Bring us down to earth. Where is Trey placed right now?
He is 4th.
Yes, Trey is in 4th. So we've got Mitch, then Alexi, then Tom, then Trey, then Evan. Is the top really 5 right now.
Evan doing really well. Pavlo's in 6th, and Brian Shaw is in 7th.
Big Z needs to be brought in as referee. He's a strict referee, isn't he?
Big Z is there. So Big Z is at World's Strongest Man. He's a very strict referee.
Yeah, we've seen some tough calls from Z, but he's not afraid to make them.
No,
yeah,
which is good.
He's good, yeah. And he's just tough on everyone, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Gregors, thank you for the super chat. Imagine Mateusz had the fastest pull as a tester.
Do you know what? I'm sure that happened once before, where the tester did the fastest time.
Really? Who was the tester?
It might have been Zadrunas. Yeah, he was the reserve.
Oh, there you go. It's funny.
Interesting.
Loz, why'd you have a beard?
To hide my double chin.
There you go. I might grow one. Thank you for the super chat. Good chance of a tie at the top. Any knowledge of how countback will work? It will go based off of who wins the last event, the stones.
So winner of stones has an advantage if they end up tying.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't affect, like the winner of the stones will affect any tied position. So last year, Novikov and Lissis both had the same points. But because Lissis beat Novikov on the stones, he took second place.
Yeah, even though Novikov won 3 events in the final and Martins didn't win any. We went through, actually, we made a video about this last year, which is the better rule. Honestly, we are not a fan of the last event rule at all, are we? No. And do you know what? Novikov has been screwed over by it more than anyone else. So we'll see. Hopefully,
because
it's
it normally
not
comes down to the stones, it affects him quite a bit. Because
it does.
He's not a bad stone lifter, but there's
they're
just
not his
better,
best event. Yeah,
better stone lifters than him.
Yeah. Shaladine, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Loz and Liz, my second year at World's Strongest Man. Been terrible for the fans. 6 times the fans, nobody can see. Ladders are the only way to watch. Events are 2 hours late or 1 hour early with no updates. Lucky to see one event. Oh man,
not good.
It's it's a
gutted for you guys. Message. I mean, look, I can tell you from experience when I was at Worlds, I used to never tell anyone to go and watch Worlds because it's not the best. It was never the best spectator experience back then, but I've not been for a few years, and you know, I know World's Strongest Man have been putting on like the VIP areas, and they're trying to make things better for fans. But I am sad to hear so many people are so disappointed with the experience. When I competed at Worlds, I was used to these kind of time delays, so that's from a competitor's point of view, and I understood it. But if we're going to have fans there, you can't really have that happening because we've got to get on with the show. What do you got going
on? We're not going to see this one because we won't be able to see the finish. So we're not going to be able to see, but we will still get a play-by-play.
We'll get the play-by-play. And hopefully there's so many people there that even our insider can't get there.
I know.
No issues. But we'll try and keep everyone updated as much as we can on this event. It looks like they're just getting warmed up, so hopefully they start soon. Is Andrea Thompson single? Yes, she
Andrew
is.
Thompson.
Oh, Andrew. Yeah.
He's Andrew Thompson.
I was guessing he meant Andrea.
Yeah, don't know.
But there we go. Andrew is single anyway. If you were meaning Andrew, is Andrew Thompson single? I'm not sure. Andrew, let yourself know.
Johnny, can Mitch beat Tom in the bus ball? Yeah,
he's got a chance.
Yeah,
he has
Alexei won the bus ball last year. Anything is possible.
How bad does he want it? That's what it's going to come down to.
Let's have a look. RBINK, thank you for the super chat. Loz, because Loz became the heart of Strongman and Liz the brains. Fair play to you both. I'm not sure what that says about Strongman's brains, if I'm the brains of the operation. But that's very kind. Thank you. It's very cool that we can both still be so heavily involved, if not more heavily involved than we were when you were competing. Now, it's crazy, but we feel very, very lucky. Luna, thank you for the super chat. As good as Big Z was overall, stones were never his best event. Yet during one of the IFSA finals, he won on stones and set a new record. Shows how mindset and desire can win can affect performance. 100%.
I say this all the time, but when it comes to those stones, it is very much, you know, it's good being a good stone lifter. That's going to give you a big advantage. But when there is that much on it, people tend to raise their level. Even people that aren't the best stone lifters somehow manage to raise it when it counts. I've done it myself. Zadrunas has done it. I've seen other athletes do it. And, you know, you just find that little extra when it's that, you know, that close to you. When you've slipped off and you're not contending, then you tend to just resort to okay, I'll just kind of not make a fool of myself. I'll just kind of put in a performance. But when it's everything and you're fighting for that title, you go like, you find that best performance. I remember Zadrunas in the EFSA World Finals. He'd never beaten like some of those guys on stones. And then suddenly he just put the best stone performance in of his life.
Chad, I'm desperately trying to find your comment and I can't see it anywhere. So someone please help me. Mods, Help. But thank you so much for the super chat. We will keep an eye out for you. Loz is having a look as well. Andrew, thank you for the super chat. Is Andrew Thompson single? And which show is the true reflection of the strongest man alive? We still don't know who Andrew Thompson is. Which show is the true reflection? It's hard to say. It's hard to say because they all test athletes in different ways. I mean, like a lot of people say about World's Strongest Man being more about speed, but they do have heavy events there. And the athletes do have to do 11 or 12 events over the course of the World's Strongest Man competition. So they have to do the most events here. Shore Classic is a great 2-dayer for the amount of events it's got and the lineup as well. Arnold's has always notoriously been the most heavy competition. So it's hard to say that just because the events change each year anyway at each competition. So it is hard to say.
Just want to give Scott Wiggum a shout out. He's gifted 10 Big Laws official
that's really
membership.
kind.
So thank you very much, Scott.
But we still don't know who Andrew Thompson is, but Andrea Thompson is single. And people might be like, oh, protect Andrea. But she would want people to know that she's single. So don't worry. People need protecting from Andrea. That one guy, thank you for the super chat. Who has the better power belly, Trey or Z?
That's a close battle. They both got some good old power bellies on them.
Also, we need Liz drug tested. She said Mitch passed away and then he's the West Canadian.
I am worried about her.
I've got too much or not enough blood in my coffee stream, I think is the problem. Oh, dear. Jared, Loz is looking for your comment right now.
Jared is just a bit below. I think it says, I blame you two for not getting my work done. I can't stop watching your commentary. Great job. Thank you very much, Jared.
That's all right. We haven't got anything else done this year out there. Yeah, anything done. Anything. Over 5,000 people watching already. Waiting for the truck pool to begin. We'll try and keep on top of comments during. But yeah, it looks like the track pool it's like a good one to spectate, but it's a hard one as well because if you're along the side, you're only ever going to see it as it passes by. Like no one's got a great view the whole way through.
Unless you can see that finish line.
Yeah. But even then, it's very hard to compare times. It's not like it's a race, is it? One guy at a time.
Apparently, people are saying
Matejko
pulled it in 32 seconds.
Wow.
That's fast.
That would be interesting now then to compare.
That'll beat some guys.
Yeah, that will definitely beat some guys.
I just putting jotting that number down.
Right, Loz is making notes. Loz is like the secretary now. Zach, thank you for the super chat. I believe Mitch mentioned being able to beat the Axel world record. What are your thoughts, Lozo?
Mitch Hooper.
Presumably.
He's not spoken to me about it, but he's probably said something like that. But I don't know. I've not seen him say it. And right now, it's not on our radar.
No, they've not seen the Axel planned for any competition anytime soon. But
no, I don't know of any comps that are running a max axle in the near future. So he needs to not worry about that.
Yeah.
But Mitch likes to sometimes say things. I'm not saying he did or didn't because I haven't seen. But I know what our goals are. And right now it's win World's Strongest Man.
Yeah. Where are we?
What are you looking for?
Just reading the Andrea disgusted emojis. Patrick, thank you for the super chat. Loz, trade proper barbecue skills for deadlift coaching. Oh, there you go. Do you want to?
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, he could help you barbecue. You could.
It'd be even better if you just came and did the barbecue for us.
Well, yeah,
that would be amazing.
Yeah, and then you could go.
And then you could go and train with me as
well.
Yeah. So there you go.
Win. I'd definitely be the winner in that scenario. Yeah. Did Massey really do it in 32 seconds? Apparently, yes. We will give you guys an update as soon as we're caught up. Dad bod lifting.
Thank you very
see
much.
Your comment. Loz will look for it now. But in the meantime, Nectarbro, thank you for the super chat.
But just to let you know, they're doing the TV links and stuff.
Okay.
So.
At World's Strongest Man last year, I stood on a rental bike on the outside of the fence. Only way I could see anything. Well, it sounds like this year it is the wildest yet. We've seen videos of the crowd. It looks to be 30 deep and massive ladders, full-size ladders stood up in the sand where people stood on them. It must be so uncomfortable.
Very. I just saw Dad Bod's message.
Oh, okay.
I can't wait to be a World's Strongest Man within the next 5 years. Looking at coaches currently. Well, good luck with your training, Dad Bod. We hope you are enjoying it. And good luck with a strongman in the future.
Do not
means
be
Andrea Thompson. I'm presuming he did.
Yeah, he means Andrea. Do not be inspired by this. Is Auntie Liz ticklish? Just a fun question.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. To the point where I will choose violence if someone tries to tickle me.
If we can get to 150,000 subscribers on this today, I will tickle her
if you
live
tickle me,
on camera.
I will bite you. I will. I will scratch you.
You'll get me
and bite
tickling
you.
Auntie Liz and her biting me.
Pull your beard. I'll rip your beard right off. Honestly, I hate being tickled.
Hates being tickled.
I had a bad experience when I was younger, and no.
Yeah, you don't like being tickled, do you?
No, I don't like it one bit. Even if I think someone might tickle me, I'll leave.
The funny thing is, our kids like to tickle her because of it.
Matthew, thank you for the super chat. Bro coverage, Auntie Liz and Loz. Maybe Loz and Liz classic show. Massive fans. Thank you. It's something we've talked about for the future, definitely.
Yeah. If we do it, we want it to be really good.
Yeah, like really, really good. So not into it. Look, see, now I'm anxious.
I'm not going to tickle you.
Right, okay.
Only if we get to 150,000 subs.
Oh, great. That's not much consolation for me. Shade, who was there in person, thank you for the super chat. Yeah, we gave up and left to enjoy the beach and pool. Horrible live experience, but you guys are the best. Anyone not subscribed, do it now. Liz and Loz are the best by far.
Thank you
so
very much.
Thank you, Shade. And we're sorry that you...
For those of you that are new to us or just kind of tuning in for the first time, we do Strongman coverage throughout the year.
Yeah.
It's
different levels of competition.
Yeah. We cover the men's, the women's, the bodyweight classes, just fun things that we might be doing. But it's pretty cool. I think if you're a Strongman fan, it's a cool channel.
Yeah, and we go to most of the big shows as well, like Arnold's Rogue Invitational, all of the Giants live. So we have lots of behind the scenes videos from those.
We've also got some really good informative videos, some fun ones.
Yes.
Where World's Strongest Man winners are, like then and now, the 45 holy moments in Strongman. Yes. That's a pretty cool video. Every single winner of World's Strongest Man. We've got quite a few just fun.
Lots of videos, lots and lots and lots. Lucky Lee Arts, thank you so much for the super chat. You guys have done more for Strongman than anyone, so a massive thank you from all of us. Also, like the video, everyone. Thank you so much. Lucky
thank you
Lee.
very, very much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate all that support, guys.
We do. Guy Incognito, thank you for the super chat. Mitch's mini documentary Beyond Strong, the rookie year, has won me over. I'm all aboard the Mitchell Hooper hype train. And honestly, for anyone who sort of questions some of the things Mitch has said, I think that documentary really explains Mitch as a person better than anything we could do.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like talking to Mitch, it's always fun having a chat with Mitch because he is strongly opinionated, but he can be won over. And he's a very determined man, and he has confidence in his ability. And sometimes when people have confidence in their ability, people see it as arrogance. But he also sees the other people's abilities as well. He's good at analyzing things, and he's learning very, very quickly. He's still so new to Strongman that there's still so many situations that he's not used to and hasn't seen. And sometimes it's, he's still a young man. Sometimes it's just lack of experience, but he always means well. He's very, he's got a huge heart, always really caring, you know. He's just a very nice person and his family are lovely.
Yeah, they are really nice.
But he has confidence in himself, and you need that to be a great athlete.
So someone was asking, what's the distance for the bus pool? It's 25 meters, we're being told, with a 60-second time limit. Todd, thank you so much for the super chat. Wanted to add, there is a huge indoor event center 10 minutes from the event. Would have been a better viewing experience. PS, thank you for the great coaching. Highly recommended. There you
thank
go.
you,
It's
Todd.
Very nice. Thank you, Todd. Yeah, they don't like to do it indoors, though. They like to incorporate
the only time they ever went
scenery
indoors was for the heats in 2020 when there was a hurricane and it wasn't going.
Except for a couple of events in the Sweden competition where they did arm wrestling indoors.
That's going back to the 80s.
That's like 20, 30 years ago.
So probably doesn't count.
Yeah, doesn't count. 32-second pool means it will come down to hundreds. Maybe not, though, because he is one of the absolute best pullers in the world.
Me being honest with you guys, it does seem a little bit quick for a World's Strongest Man pull.
Yeah.
Normally they're closer to the minute mark when it's at Worlds.
Should we see
World's Strongest Man,
you
can't ever compare one truck pull to the next. They're all different. Surface makes a difference. The truck makes a difference. The air pressure makes a difference. There's too many factors to compare from one truck to another.
And this is part of the reason they do the test pull. Sometimes they'll let air out if it seems too easy. So, like, for example, last year, Alexei Novikov had the winning time of 41.51 seconds. So, but yeah, you can't directly.
But I've done the truck pull at World's Strongest Man many times. There's one year when no one could finish. The next year we all finished in around like under 35 seconds.
Yeah.
So you just never know exactly. But normally at Worlds, it's a fairly tough pull. Sometimes extremely tough.
Peter, thank you for the super chat. My son is 17 years old, Olympic and tradition regional and district champion for my high school. What advice can you give him to transition into powerlifting and strongman competitions? You guys rock. Thank you, Peter.
If he's got that as a background, then he's already halfway there. You know, at his age, focus on technique. That's really, really important. But I'm presuming with an Olympic lifting background, he's going to be doing very well already. And just take your time. I think one of the biggest mistakes younger people make is they try and rush things. They want to be the best at a certain age. They want to make sure they hit a certain number before they're 18 or before they're 19. And the reality is that doesn't matter. What matters is that you keep progressing and keep moving forwards. And I wish I could go and train myself from when I was younger, because I had that mentality that I wanted to be the best as quick as possible, and it set me back. I got injured because of that. So understanding that it's a marathon, not a sprint, is really important, and focus more than anything on enjoying it.
Fingers Fingal, thank you for the super chat. I loved last year's VIP experience. There was food, drink, and you could hang out with Terry, Nick, and meet lots of athletes. But you had to go into general admission to actually watch the show. And it sounds like now, even getting into the general admission area is impossible after a certain point. People were already completely crowded the Atlas Stone area, ready for the final event later. So yeah, work to be done definitely to make it a better fan experience for everyone, especially for people paying VIP, because it's very, very expensive.
It wasn't cheap, was it?
No. Eva, thank you for the super chat. 32 seconds. Does that mean the bus is too light?
Well, I don't know if they'll make any adjustments to it. Sometimes they do. That's why they test it.
Yeah.
So we'll really know when the athletes start going. But if it is 32 seconds, yeah, I think it is a bit light.
It's too light, yeah.
I genuinely do.
Liz threatening Lars with a good time. Beard ripping, this got serious. Yeah, tickling is literally a form of torture. Thank you.
So who wants to see me torture Liz?
I will elbow you in the nose. Honestly, I swear to God, Lizzie. No, just no.
You're pretty safe, by the way.
Thank you. Amy, how good do you think next year's World's Strongest Man could be if Thor, Maxime, and Martins returned? We enjoy watching you whilst in the hot tub yesterday. Oh, very nice. Imagine the groups with those
let's
three
remember,
in it as well.
You may have new guys through as well. That's what that's what I want to see, is new guys coming through, the best people competing. It'd be amazing to see the likes of Martins and Thor in there as well. It could be epic.
Yeah, but yeah, like you say, people like Jaco Skrimvinkel winning his group at World's Strongest Man, like people have the ability to surprise, don't they?
We're just waiting for the bus pull to start, guys.
Please make more arm wrestling content in the future. I love your channel and Strongman, but arm wrestling is my passion. Can't promise you anything, Sir Bagel's not gonna lie. Thank you for the content. I'll make Liz his own.
Yeah, Liz does all the content, so we will do some arm wrestling stuff, but we won't do a huge amount because we want to keep this channel more focused on Strongman. But we will do a little bit. We'll do a little bit of my training towards the British Masters, which is coming up in May, and then my real goal, which is the World Masters in December. I do want to go and train with some of the top guys. So we'll do some collabs with different people. We'll do more talking Strongman. We've got plenty more videos planned. So yeah, just keep tuning in, guys. Hit that notification bell so you get a notification when we upload new videos. We're going to have a few days off next week. So we'll give you guys a rest from the channel.
We do have other cool things planned though, like facts and stats about this year's competition and diving into it. So that should be interesting. But yeah, we do need a little bit.
It's been amazingly good fun, but we do need to focus on the family as well.
Yes,
Mama Shahley has been very kind this weekend.
Yes, she has. Anna, thank you for the super chat. No, don't do that, Liz. I'm the same. If tickled, I go into full flail mode and no telling what I'll hit. Bad idea. Yes, it is a bad idea because I can't be held responsible. It's just a reaction. Yeah, it is a reaction to make the person stop. You have to hurt them.
I know not to tickle you.
Yeah,
thank you.
I mean, I can't really hurt Lars. I've never hurt Lars, have I?
No, you haven't.
Only emotionally. Only his feelings. Oh, poor Losby. Look how sad he is. So people asking for an ETA. It was supposed to start
It should
20
be
minutes
starting
ago.
any
Should be
second
any
now.
second,
The
yeah.
last I got an update was that they're doing the TV links,
And that was about
which
10 minutes
means
ago.
it is imminent.
Fred, thank you for the super chat. Okay, people, if you are not subscribed, do it now and let's get them to 150. Not sure if I want to see Liz tickled or Loz get hit. Friend on the group said some were fighting, trying to get a spot. Oh, hopefully there's no actual fighting in real life. And Fred, why am I not surprised that you would want to see me tickled? You sick, sick man. Poor Fred. Oh, you're not going to stand up for Fred?
I was trying to find out some stuff. I'm sorry. What was Fred saying?
Fred wants me to be tickled, and I called him a sick, sick man. Poor Fred.
Oh.
Are you nervous?
Well, yes, I am nervous.
Yeah.
But, no, my watch is telling me to stand up. Go away.
Okay. Andrew, thank you for the super chat. Log world record was done on a steel log by Big Z, and it wasn't as long as the wooden logs that are common now. Should all records be done on the same kit? Andrew, fan.
Andrew is single.
Yes.
I don't like the obsession with world records.
Yeah.
I like competition. So I like seeing guys and girls training and competing against each other. I think for world records, we do need a bit of standardization. If we're going to really make these records mean something, I don't think, we see all sorts of, there's different records every week in all the different weight classes and stuff like that. And it's almost become boring for me because equipment makes a difference. What is interesting is seeing people be competitive. But I think if we're going to have official world records, they do need to be done on a certain standard of equipment.
David, thank you for the super chat. Hello from Malta. Thank you for keeping us company and updated for World's Strongest Man. Love the channel. Keep it strong. Thank you,
David. I loved Malta when I went there for World's Strongest Man back in 2009. I'd love to see it there again, to be honest.
Bam is there and saying there are thousands of people out here. Oh, man. It's wild by the looks of it, from what I've seen. Mr. Burns, thank you for the super chat. Hi, me again. According to the Chinese calendar, it's the year of the rabbit, but we're going to make it the year of the moose. By the way, Liz, what a boring t-shirt. LOL. Cheers for the final.
She needs to have a more fancy one.
I'll put something else on for the Stones, okay?
Fancy.
Fancy. I'll get my ball gown out. I don't know.
Suggestions in the comments, guys.
Yeah. Cookie, thank you for the super chat. Surely it can't be too hard to build temporary grandstands for spectators. Well, they were talking about risers, and that seems to be minimal, like really minimal. And I thought they meant bleachers, and they were like, no, because it will look bad if they're not full. But there's no risk at all of the bleachers not being full.
It's pretty full out there.
Yes.
Way too full.
Hopefully that gives them the confidence going forward that it will not look bad at all, because there's zero chance of it not being full. But yeah, it would look a lot better. Patrick, thank you for the super chat. World's Strongest Man must recognize.
They do, to be fair. We talk to World's Strongest Man fairly regularly, and they do appreciate what we're doing, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
And they have spoken many times about wanting to get us involved in Worlds, and they allow us to use snippets. So on the last live that we did, Liz put some official footage up from the Fingers that they allowed us to use. So we do try and work with them as well as we can, and we do suggest things to them all the time. So if you guys have suggestions, comments, feelings towards things, let us know, and let them know as well.
Good. World's Strongest Man in Sweden was 1984 in Mora, my hometown. There you go.
Cool.
That's cool. Apparently they've made some changes with the tires and retested it, and it's now much harder.
That's what I would have expected. That's why they have an athlete test it.
Yeah. Jared, always rooted for you, Loz. I really appreciate you and Auntie Liz doing this for fans and the sport. Thank you, Jared.
Very much.
Thank you for the super chat. Trying to get up to date before it starts happening. Mateusz getting 32 seconds is similar to
we've just heard that they have
finals.
made it harder.
Mateusz was always such a good puller as well, though, wasn't he? Even when he was the lightest on the field, like Alexei last year, I guess. Eric, thank you for the super chat. Great work on the coverage you guys are providing. It's a shame that those there in person are having to rely on your live stream to get results. Keep up the great work, Eric. We thought we'd be relying on everyone there. Thank you so much for the generous
6,000 people watching. Thank you all for watching and tuning in.
Exactly, 6,000.
Please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel.
You're so cheesy. Right.
I used to be scared to say it. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Like when we started, I used to be scared to ask people to subscribe to the channel because I felt bad doing it.
Yeah, I feel so bad.
But it's what all the channels do, apparently. So
Kevin, if you win Worlds, you get an invite for all future Worlds. Big fan of the channel. Thanks for all you do. Also, go Mitch. If you're an active strongman,
not if you're
still.
Kazmaier.
That's a good point. Not if you're Bill Kazmaier, but if you're an active strongman.
Yeah, normally these days, what they tend to do, and this isn't official, but normally they will invite most of the finalists back. That is not an official route, and it's not generally like, I wouldn't take it as a given if I was an athlete.
No,
but normally they do tend to invite the finalists back.
They do.
So, like, don't take my word and say, "Oh, Loz said." That it's a guaranteed.
Yeah. So
invite.
why is this guy not being invited back? Yeah,
because that's not the case. But it just normally they do.
All right, I played at the Quidditch World Cup at Myrtle a few years back. Great sports complex. Shame didn't use it. Thanks for all you do. Love the stream.
Thank you.
Well, when you
so
said
much.
Quidditch, I thought you were just taking the mic, but that's cool. If that's what it's called.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
The Quidditch World Cup at Myrtle Beach. I kind of want to see this.
Yeah.
Someone send me a link to the Quidditch World Cup. I want to watch that later.
I think it's a venue, isn't it? Great sports complex. It's a sports complex. There you go. It's not an actual. They're not flying, Loz.
That's what I'm saying. I want to know what they were doing.
Thank you, Nathan. Sam, thank you for the
How
super
live
chat.
is this? It is very live.
Big
It's
screens.
just no TV.
Big screens would make a huge
That would be
difference
huge.
there. Yeah, massive. That would be great.
So they've taken air out of the tires to make it harder. So it should be a tougher pull for sure.
Sir Bagels, I was asleep for the dumbbell. Can you give me a recap?
You can indeed. Do you want to put the scores up quickly before they get?
Well, I only have the standings.
The standings are fine.
Okay.
Well, I'll quickly talk through the dumbbells.
Yeah.
So Mitch Hooper and Evan Singleton were tied for first place with 140 kilos. Then we had Luke, Pavlo, Novikov, and Tom Stockman all doing the 132 kilo dumbbell. Matt Ragg, Brian Shaw, and Trey Mitchell all did the 125 kilo dumbbell. And Jakoš Gunfinkel failed the opening dumbbell and unfortunately injured his knee and has pulled out of the competition. So we are down to 9 going into the truck pull. Do you want to quickly put the scores up?
I will.
Just
very
one last time,
quickly.
because I think they are getting close to starting.
Oh, and then we will we'll try and keep up together with the super chats.
Don't worry
as
too much
well.
about that bottom one.
I'm just trying to get rid of so
Don't
that's Jaco
worry.
Skunvinkel that you can't see there. Yeah, so Luke Stoltman on 14.5, tied with Matt Ragg right now. Then it's Brian Shaw with 17.5 points. Above him is Pablo Cordiaco with 20.5 points. In 5th place right now, Evan Singleton on 25, just half a point ahead. In 4th place is Trey Mitchell with 25.5. Then Tom Stoltman, another 5 points ahead of him in 3rd place with 30.5. Alexei Novikov, half a point ahead of him in 31. And Mitch Hooper at 34.5, currently in 1st place after 4 events.
There we go.
Oh gosh, I can't get rid of it. There we go. Right. Try and keep up together. Andrea is single. Tell her I said hi.
Did you go too
Lots
far?
of fans. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
What are the standings?
Go up a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that we've done that one now, the boss. But thank you so much for the super chat. That was the last one that we did. So this one, yeah. Scott, thank you for the super chat. Do we know who has the most first places in a single final overall year? Is it 2003?
I'm gonna guess Mariusz Pudzianowski, but it might be Bill Kazmaier
as well. Yeah.
But Bill's comp was over 10 events.
Yes.
And Mariusz's, I think, was
8.
Over,
I think it was 8. Yeah. And it's possibly Marius in 2003. We would have to check
something
that,
we will
though.
double check, but I would guess it's one of them.
Yeah.
From memory. Marius in 2003 was unbelievable.
Yeah, he was very dominant. What place is Shaw in? Why aren't you at the event? So you've just seen where Shaw is right now. We're not there because if we're going to go there, because you're not supposed to film at World's Strongest Man.
We wouldn't be able to film stuff. We wouldn't be able to do this. So it's basically World's Strongest Man are talking to us about eventually getting us out there in some role. But this year they didn't have a budget to bring us out. And my job is going around doing commentating, and Liz's job is the YouTube stuff. So it would be a lot to give up for nothing. They did ask us to come, but at our own cost.
Yeah.
And with the amount of time that we travel, we have to get my mum to look after the kids. It just wouldn't be worth it for us this year. But as much as we want to be there, we just have to sometimes choose to stay home.
Be a bit choosier. J.R. Williams, thank you for the super chat. Loz, can you elaborate on the Sheffield event powerlifting world record reset and why they did it, and what world records and whose major world records were affected? Do you know any of those answers?
Loz, can you elaborate on the Sheffield event powerlifting? Do you know what? I haven't seen it. JR, I was away in America for Clash on the Coast, which was a strongman competition that same weekend, and I haven't had a chance to go and watch the powerlifting yet. That was the SBD event that was in Sheffield. I have seen some of the amazing lifts that were done, but I haven't really looked into it too much.
Yeah, sorry that we can't answer your question.
Answer more
I knew as soon as I saw that you wouldn't know. Size matters.
Matt Ragg is out.
Ooh, very exciting.
To do the truck pull.
Okay. So we're not going to be watching this one. Not much point, to be honest, because
we will
only
bring
the
you the
time
official
matters.
times as soon as we have them. We should get them fairly quickly.
It's not really like counting reps or anything.
Matt Ragg will be the first athlete out.
Size matters. If Mitch wins, Loz has to wear a ball gown.
If Mitch wins, I'm going to be a very happy man.
That sounds good.
If Fred's predictions are right, then I'll wear the ball gown.
There you go. Lots of people asking the stand-ins, which we have just been through.
Super sticker. Let me check it.
Yes, Loz will find the sticker because all we get is the words super sticker. What channel is it on? There is nowhere to watch the World's Strongest Man live, unfortunately. Funny comment. 6,000 people watching. 2,000 of them are from Myrtle Beach.
Crazy.
Pimp Browno out and beg for subscribers. Dwayne.
Thank you.
It's a thank you thing. Thank you so much. And Dwayne wants us to pimp Browno out and beg for subscribers.
Pimp Browno out. Go and buy Browno's deadlift program.
There you go.
And keep him happy. Andrea Thompson is in the house.
That's cool. Andrea, there's a few people asking if
Andrea
you're single.
says that she's got an outfit you can wear.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I dread to think. I've seen some of her
Winky
outfits.
face.
She sends me pictures of herself in her outfits. I'm like, Christ, I've just woken up. Pauline, thank you for
Hope
the
you had a good
super
training session today, Andrea.
Please say hi to my husband, Damien. He loves World's Strongest Man and you guys. Thank you, Pauline. Hello, Damien. And we hope you're enjoying the World's Strongest Man experience, which is people, spreadsheets, etc. Yes. Hello from New York. Big fan. So cool that people all over the world were tuning in.
It's amazing how many people from all over watch. It's so cool just to see the sport growing in so many different areas.
Dad bod lifting, you need to get better at attaching your comments to your chats. Oh, there she is, Andrea. I've got an outfit you can wear, Liz. I bet you have.
He said, do you see World's Strongest Man coming to Las Vegas in Nevada?
That would be
potentially.
Cool.
It has been there before. World's Strongest Man has been in Vegas before. I think 97, if memory serves me right.
No bus pulls yet. Matt Ragg is up first, so we're just waiting. And it does seem that they're going in the order possibly.
Intro and then the whistle.
Okay. Rick, thank you for the super chat. Why not measure the force to move the bus?
That's way too complicated for strongmen. Thank you, Rick.
That's what Mateusz is. He is the measuring stick. Mateusz is the scale. While we're waiting,
did you get Paul B?
Paul B. Sorry, Paul. I'm here. The VIP and fan experience has been bad. Sorry to hear that, Paul. Glad you're with us, though. You know, we'll look after you.
It makes me sad that so many people are having a bad experience.
Yeah. You want people coming away going, that was hype. That was brilliant.
He's off.
I loved it. Oh, Matt Ragg, it's going. Come on, Matt Ragg. What a great show he's had. Oh, my phone started buzzing. No, it's all right. It's just an email. That's useless. Paul Bear, we've done Paul's. How do you think Bobby's thoughts are now that Luke is so low and Schoonwinkel has pulled out? Also, what do you think Bobby will place right now?
Bobby's pissed. I spoke to Bobby. He's very down and upset to the point of right now he doesn't want to come back to Worlds. But I spoke to him briefly and I said, just go and have a week to chill and we'll talk next week and Bobby will calm down. Bobby is without question one of the top strongmen in the world. He's proven it time and time again now. And he's just disappointed, which is understandable. He's going to be feeling disappointed with the results, he feels, and to be fair, he has been screwed over a number of times in groups. Really when you think how good he is and what he does elsewhere, let's think. Bobby Thompson is the current America's Strongest Man. He's had 2 podiums in a row at the Arnold Classic. He's doing very, very well.
He's very good, yeah.
He's going to be disappointed. In the final, he had 4 good events, and the truck pull and the stones would have been bad for him. He's got fused toes, so like he's got plates in his feet that affect things like truck pull, and his stones need work. All the other events, very good for him. I think Bobby could have been top 5. I reckon around 6th to 5th area was probably where he'd come. I think the stones and the truck pull would have cost him.
Yeah. Jamie, thank you for the super chat. Hi guys, love the coverage. Sitting here with my girlfriend Marie and her daughter Alice. Can you say hi to both of them and tell them I love them lots? Hello,
Matt
Marie and
Ragg's
Alice.
time is in. Matt Ragg 36.29.
Oh, write it down, Ozzy. 36.29. That seems fast still, though, doesn't it?
It does.
Do you need a clean piece of paper?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Can you say hi to Marie and Alice, please, Lotto?
Hi, Marie and Alice. Thank you very much for watching along. And hey, Jamie, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, me, Jamie.
Hey, me, Jamie.
Adam, thank you for the super chat. Novikov blew a lead last year and finished 3rd. Has Hooper improved his stones and pulling to keep that from happening?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've worked very hard. His conditioning is not an issue. He's probably the fittest athlete in the competition. We have worked very hard at his truck pull because last year it was terrible.
Alexi kind of gassed last year, didn't he? He just gave so much in the first, well, in all of it, all of the heat events as well, which he's backed off.
Put it this way, I'm more confident on Mitch's truck pull than I was on his dumbbell. And I was least confident on the fingers. So based on results so far, I'm very pleased with how he's doing. He's kind of overperformed on those events.
Here's a public service announcement. Thank you for the super chat. If you Google the Oceanfront Bar and Grill webcam, you can see the Atlas Stone platforms between the lamppost and the palm tree. You can't see it in person. Oh, there you go. People have been using webcams to watch works this year because it's better than in person. Stephen.
Brian Shaw is up next.
Did you all see the 88-pound 12-year-old what's that overhead 264 pounds?
I didn't see, but that's crazy.
That is crazy for a 12-year-old. Some strong kids out there.
Do you know what though?
Like strongman's kids are.
I never pay that much attention to how strong a young person is. I've seen so many young people burn out. What's important is they keep enjoying it and keep developing. But I mean, some of these kind of countries where Olympic lifting is very popular, they do push from a young age, but usually you see the men's side particularly, they are done in their sort of mid-20s.
Yeah. And
I've seen strongmen and powerlifters push really, really hard from a young age, become the youngest ever to go to World's Strongest Man or these big comps, and by 24, 25, they're done. And they don't ever achieve what maybe they could. It's more important to keep improving. It's not so important to be the best at a young age.
Tim, can we start a GoFundMe to get you both out to the Shore Classic? That is not necessary, Tim, but thank you very much. Thank you. Brian will be like, hey, you guys came. We'll be like, yeah, so there was a crowd fund. People are like, what? Decoys, thank you for the super chat. I believe Japan would be a fantastic venue for World's Strongest Man. Locks, you are correct. There is not a large World's Strongest Man specific following. However, the Japanese people get behind the warrior class.
I think the Japanese would kind of really appreciate the strongman.
Yeah.
You know, I think they would love it, but it's just getting the sport popular in those regions.
And also the country wanting to spend the money to bring World's Strongest Man over.
There we go. We've got a petition to get
fund Los and Liz to World's Strongest Man.
IMG
live.
Have enough money to get us to World's Strongest Man themselves.
Yes, it just needs to be allocated.
Their parent company just bought the WWE. So I don't think that should be a factor, but thank you so much.
But you guys can definitely put the pressure on them.
Yes. Tell them you'd like to see us there. That's all you need to do.
People wanted World's Strongest Man in Texas. I'd love to go back to Texas, but I think it would be nice to get it out of America as well.
I do as well. And at the moment, Texas, you guys have the Rogue Invitational, which is a great fan experience.
Yeah, you do.
So
don't be greedy.
You can see, and you can see me and Liz at Texas this year for the Rogue Invitational. So if any of you want to go to that, we would love to meet you.
Can you look for Chris's super chat? I will try and keep an eye out for it too. Lewis, hi guys, Mitch for the win. Thank you for the super chat, Lewis.
It just says message retracted.
Why is it retracted, Chris? Don't be shy.
It could have been a mod that I don't know. I don't know why it says that.
No, I don't either.
Someone tell us.
Yeah. What was wrong with Chris?
Maybe Chris went shy. Maybe, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Scott, thank you for the super chat. How's the order of athletes on the stones worked out? Does it go off the previous event or the overall? So it's the overall standings after 5 events, and it's in pairs. So someone's going to have to go out first because unfortunately Jaco Schrimwinkel is now out of the competition, and then it will be 4 pairings after that, with the top 2 currently in first and second place being the final pairing. Very exciting.
He's off. Brian Shaw is off.
Oh, Brian Shaw. There we go.
This will be an interesting one.
Yeah,
36.29 to beat.
Very exciting. The Nigel, thank you for the super chat. The love these lives. Still hoping for the Novikov victory. By the way, they did bring risers. They were just unassembled in a pile behind the land stage. We saw them when we were down there.
Brian's finished.
Unbelievable. I saw people standing on the boxes that were supposed to contain risers, like unassembled risers.
Not good.
They were being used as risers, to be fair.
It's not good. I'm sorry, it's not.
No, it's not good.
Like, I feel we try and big world's strongest man up, and
they let themselves down.
The competition is going amazingly, but they've got to make
32.65 seconds.
Good time for Mr. Shaw.
32 and 36. It does seem very fast for a 25-meter course, doesn't it?
Yes.
I think it's too light. Torex, thank you for the super chat. Mitch wanted to place top 7. So humble. Hope he wins. Top 7. Well, is that because that would be an improvement on last year?
Yeah, that was the goal. Be better than last year. Secretly, we had higher hopes than top 7.
Of course.
The goal was podium. That is, the goal's to win, but that was the big goal was to try and get on the podium. And he's in a good position to do that. And he just needs to keep fighting.
Unfortunately, the beautiful emojis that I make,
I can see them.
Yeah, to show as well. I kind of need to explain why people are just seeing the word moose, 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 moose.
There it is. There's his
we go.
cheesy face.
Thank you for the super chat, Eric. Daniel, thank you for the super chat. Some dude in chat wanted to shout out for his daughter. Oh, how'd you say that?
I don't know.
Elodie?
We're so bad with names. I'm so sorry.
Thanks for everything over the past few days. Elodie? It's been awesome. Thank you for super chatting it. Sorry for butchering it.
Thank you very much. And yes, we hope your daughter is
happy
with that terrible
attempt.
That we did.
Thank you.
Elodie.
I don't know.
I'm so sorry.
Is this Hooper's first Worlds? RIP Brian's 5th win from the boss.
It's his second World's Strongest Man competition. He made the final last year, came 8th. So improving on that will be really good.
Chris, the super chat. World should come to Canada once the Moose wins the competition.
Please don't say that.
Along with
He's
you
still
guys.
Got work to do.
Canadian here. Say hi to my wife, Kate. Big fan. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Kate.
And
that's a nice, easy one to say.
Yeah, we can say Kate.
Thank you very much, guys. Oh man, I'm nervous.
Poor website webcam owner is going to get insane bandwidth fees this month. Oh, I don't know how it works, but yeah. Jamie, thank you for the super chat. Ooh, Uncle Loz, fancy interrupting my last super chat with updates from the triple.
I'm very, very sorry, Jamie.
So rude. Who's up next?
Well,
we don't know
gone.
Yeah.
I don't know who's next.
Oh, very exciting. People wanting World's Strongest Man in different parts of the world. World's Strongest Man, Australia.
Watching from Japan.
Oh, there you go.
That is so cool. We've got Japanese fans, guys.
Last time it was in Europe was way back in 2009. It's been a long time. There we go.
My
Japanese
second
fan.
World's
Thank you so
Strongest
much.
Man was in Malta.
I so want to go to Japan. It's like a dream destination for me. I would love to go. I was like, make it happen. World's Strongest Man, Isle of Wight would be fun.
I've been to the Isle of Wight a few times.
Well, yeah,
we went to the Isle of Wight with the kids.
We took the kids, yeah.
They had a great time.
Oh, what's going on with Chris? Look, he's back with a super chat, but there's no chat. Where's your chat, Chris? Loz is looking for you. Is Rauno in the chat? Lots of people. Oh, yeah, here he is. 32.65.
Thanks, Rauno.
Thanks, Rauno. Do you know why Martin's Lissus is not participating this year and if he will be back next year? Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, so after the Rogue Invitational, Martin said to the sadness of his fans that he feels like he's only got a few big competitions left in him. He wanted to take some time off to recover properly from the Rogue Invitational. He didn't feel he was in his best shape. He felt a bit unfit. So he's taking this whole year off competing with the view to come back next year.
Oh, wow. Says he always loves Auntie Liz pronouncing French names.
Oh, Eloa, help me out, man. You were in my head because you've got the same E. It's hard when you're not bilingual. I blame the British education system doing a very poor job teaching us other languages.
We are lazy in Britain because everyone speaks English. We're not great at languages.
Yeah, but most of our children don't start learning a second language until year 7, which is 11 years old. And then they learn it like once or twice a week. It's not enough. It's bad.
Yeah. Waiting for the next
Who's
athlete.
done the fastest pull so far? Only 2 guys
Brian
have been
Shaw
up.
is the fastest so far with 32.65.
Yes, but obviously there's only 2 guys.
We've only had Matt Ragg go before that, who did 36.29. Brian should be a fast time, but it does seem, I have to be honest, like a slightly light pull.
Yeah.
To be getting it done that quickly.
Danny, don't you just hate it when the truck you're pulling is too light? LOL. I know, it's crazy.
I know it sounds crazy, but for me, that is, if we're seeing 30-second pulls, knowing that I've done various different pulls at Worlds and various different pulls in competitions, that seems like an easier pull.
Yeah, it does, definitely.
The athletes are going to have to just keep applying that power. Don't get into cruise mode. This is one thing I was telling Mitch Hooper just before we came on live. So don't ever get to the point where you think you're coasting and you feel good. You've got to keep applying power. He needs to keep that rope tight to his chest, keep those arms moving, keep those legs pumping, thinking about harder and faster. You don't want to just get into this position where you're just coasting, because you can do that. You can, it's moving now, and I'm just going to go. He needs to apply power with every single step he takes. Keep that tension in the rope and just give it everything.
Ray, thank you for the super chat. I would love to buy you both a steak dinner next time you're in North or South Carolina. Thanks for all you do. Ray, that is 100% the way to our hearts, is through a steak dinner.
We do like a steak dinner.
Especially if there's a French onion soup starter and then a yummy dessert.
Yeah, we're there. We're sold.
We're best friends.
Thank you very much, Ray. So Trey is up next.
Oh, okay, good. Joe, thank you for becoming a member. Confused Silence, thank you for the super chat. Rauno is battling it out with Monica in chat to give updates. LOL. Hopefully Rauno can give a Shaw Classic invite. Would love to see him pull the Hammertime.
Yes, we'd love to see him on that.
Petition. That's
the petition. Get Rauno to the Shaw Classic.
Because we don't see it anywhere else, the Hummer tire. And Rauno is genuinely someone who could really smash that record. So would love to see it.
The only thing is, I think it's very close to the Deadlift World Championship.
It's like the week before. So Rauno would have to choose, and I don't think he'd be able to choose, so he'd do both. And
Trey.
That is the problem.
Trey, 32.49.
Oh, no way.
Trey has gone into the lead.
0.2 of a second faster than Brian. This is definitely not good in terms of weight, I feel.
Trey Mitchell, 32.49.
Isn't Eddie still wanted for arrest in Canada, says BVF? Oh, I heard something.
I don't know anything about this.
I don't know. There was a warrant out for his arrest.
Really?
Or something like from years ago. I don't know. You don't know with Eddie. You don't know like if he's messing about or what. Honestly, don't know. But I doubt it's somewhere Eddie ever goes, to be honest. You go to Canada? I don't know. What would he go there for?
I don't particularly follow Eddie that much. I know that might sound weird, but
he doesn't cover Strongman.
Eddie doesn't really
much,
cover
though,
Strongman unless it's World's Strongest Man, and I'm not really that much. I'm not interested in Eddie and his tank. So
Eddie's tank.
I see him at a comp, chat to him. I think it would be cool to do like a training session together or something. It'd be cool to get him on Talking Strongman, but I'm not really interested in eating comps and the influencer stuff that he does. So I just don't pay that much attention.
Hey, apparently we got the name correct, and Liz has offended all educators. It's not you, it's the system, it's the curriculum that I have an issue with, not the good people trying to teach it. Quick, move on.
Waiting for the next athlete.
Who's next? Trey.
I think it'll be.
Come on. Oh no, Trey's gone, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Trey's been. So it'll be. I'm not sure who'll be next.
Luke.
It'll be Luke.
Right. Ryan, thank you for the
it might not be Luke. Luke did the 132, didn't he? So it could be any one of the ones that did the 132.
Oh, okay. Right. So have we done all the ones that max out at 125?
So it could be one of four.
Okay. Right.
Probably will be Luke, but we'll know soon.
Basque Country would be a nice World's Strongest Man backdrop. Or maybe I've just been bringing Martine's Strength Unknown series a little too much. Oh, yeah. Binging it, sorry.
His Strength Unknown is pretty cool.
It's really cool series, yeah. And
I haven't seen them all, but I have seen some of them, and they're really well put together.
Highlighted lots of great places.
I kind of like the history of seeing these different things. I've seen a lot of things in the past. The Rogue do some brilliant ones.
Yeah, like Stoneland and stuff like that. Yeah, really good. Thank you for the super chat, Ryan. Truck pull was one of my best events.
Who says that?
Tommy the Tank.
I used to like a truck pull.
How can I follow the other Strongman events? If you're subscribed to the channel, we always put out videos before and after, doing predictions, keeping people up to date, etc. Oh, there's over 7,000 people here. Like and subscribe, please.
Thank you, Iris.
I think Liz could finish this, Paul. Do you know what? Do not underestimate my pushing and pulling abilities. I pushed something once, easily.
Pushed me over the edge.
The brink of despair.
Waiting for the next athlete. It's all I've got. Come on. We need to know. Who is it? Is it Luke?
Who's winning the truck at the moment? Is it
It's
Trey?
currently Trey. Trey, Brian, Matt Rag.
Okay.
In that order.
Do you think it'll be sub 30 seconds for the winner?
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
What are you seeing?
I'm deciding which of these comments. Rano is friends with Brian's mortal enemy. No way Rano will get an invite. He could, you never know.
Brian gave him a lot of respect after that stone off. I think, Rano got a lot of fans after that.
Yeah. Limmy, thank you for the super chat. Any advice on how to get started in Strongman? Wanted to go into it, but no gyms near me. Have Strongman, no gyms near me have Strongman equipment or trainers, so I'm not sure where to start.
He has or doesn't have?
Doesn't have equipment or trainers.
Okay.
For Strongman. So how
we do a entry-level training program on our website, which is fairly cheap, I think, that one.
Yeah, it is cheap and it doesn't require any
which is good for people wanting to train for Strongman but with only gym equipment. And you can get good. Don't think you have to use the equipment. Obviously it helps, but if you're just looking to get experience, maybe try and get yourself a little bit stronger in the gym first and then look at entering a competition, a novice comp, and go as a genuine novice. Sometimes people think they have to go like a pro to these novice comps. Go experience it, see if you like it, and then you can see if you want to take it to the next level by purchasing some Strongman equipment to train on. But just take it steady and see if you like it first. That's got to be key.
Brian apparently pulled his shorts down in a gym, and there's a warrant out because Canadians take indecent exposure.
Let's move on.
Seriously.
I didn't need to know this. Thank you very much for letting us know.
So does this mean you won't be a World's Strongest Man with a Brian doll? You have a Lizzie doll, don't you?
Rano has a Loz and Lizzie doll.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Snugsies, they're called. Andrew's very fond of the Liz one as well, isn't she?
They're cute.
Yeah, they are cute.
I saw the video of Eddie with the Brian one on like his chest in a carrier, like a baby carrier.
Oh, yeah,
I thought that was quite funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
So Luke, good time for Luke, 32.83, but he's just behind Brian Shaw. There's too many people on 32 now.
Yeah, way too many. Out of 4, 3 guys have finished in 32 seconds. Trey being the fastest, 32.49. Then Brian Shaw, 32.65.
Oh, sorry,
then
83.
Then Luke, 32.83. So this is, and that means in a split second or 1 second you can drop 3 points, 4 points. Same thing happened on the fingers as well. It's crazy. Decoys, thank you for the super chat. Best comp for a new middleweight strongman competitor. I started training officially a month ago. How do I hire Loz for coaching?
Just go onto my website and there's a link there to join you through coaching. There'll be a questionnaire that you fill out and then I will contact you with your first block of training. If you're going to do a competition, make sure you put that into the notes as well with all the events and dates. I don't know the best place to compete because, especially in America, there's it's a huge country. And if you go on to, what's the website? God, my head's gone to mush with everything else going on.
Starting Strongman?
No. What's the American Federation?
Oh, Strongman Corp.
Strongman Corp, that's right. Strongman Corp will have a list of their competitions, or go into looking at OSG. That's another route, and you may be able to find OSG qualifiers because the American system is different to over in the UK. So I'm not 100% sure on all the different associations that plan things, but there is quite a lot of useful information. Strongman, who did you just say?
Cool.
Starting Strongman.
Oh,
That's a good website to look on for competitions as well. I know they used to update it regularly. I'm not sure, haven't looked on it for a while, but they had some good information on there as well.
Fun, thank you for the super chat. 12 months ago, a lot of chat was about possible impact on Strongman in relation to Eddie versus Thor fight. 12 months on, how has the fallout been, positive versus negative? It's been okay, actually.
Do you know what? Strongman's doing better than ever.
Yeah. So I don't think there's been any negative impact that we can tell. At the time, it was all a bit weird and tense, wasn't it? I mean, we were there in Dubai, and it was very uncomfortable.
Both of them tough guys, both of them very determined athletes, very similar in mindset, to be quite honest. I gave them both a lot of respect to get into the ring, because I think you deserve respect to put yourself in that situation. It's dangerous, and unless you've ever been in the ring and taken a punch to the face, you shouldn't really say too much. But I still would have preferred them to compete in a strongman comp together rather than the boxing.
Adam, thank you for the super chat. I was looking at the archives list over the last few years, and I noticed there isn't many or any Icelandic strongmen. Where do they all go? Oh no, they've
two of them were at Worlds this year.
Yeah, Eyþór Ingolfsson Melsted and Christian Haraldsson as well. So 2 at World's Strongest Man this year.
And there's talk of Thor coming back as well.
Yeah.
There's other guys training in Iceland as well. They're doing okay. It's just when you had someone as dominant as Thor and Magnus Ver,
big shoes to fill.
John Paul Sigmarsson.
Come on, Lassie.
I guess that's 9 World's Strongest Man titles between them. They were all pretty damn good.
I think Pavlo, Evan, and Novikov can do under 30 seconds, reckons David. Possibly Tom and Mitch Hooper too. Who knows? It's going to be. It's close by the looks of it. Too close, uncomfortably close.
I don't.
You want to see some separation.
I don't like these times.
No, I don't like these times one bit.
But we'll let it keep going.
Wow, nothing else we can do.
Yeah, just gotta kind of see what happens.
Tim, thank you for the super chat. We had to leave early because we have adult responsibilities tomorrow. Work. Haha. Listening to you guys on the drive home. Thank you for the 2 of you. Thank you so much,
I hope
Tim.
you've had a good time out there, Tim.
We hope you've been able to see stuff. It sounds like the heats weren't too bad. It's this weekend that's been particularly hard.
Yeah, from what we heard, like people that watched the heats had a good time. The final seems to be a little bit different.
And I feel like
has anyone enjoyed it? Like, there's a question, because it's easy to look at the negative. Has anyone enjoyed the experience? There's maybe a question. Just try and look at it from a different spin. I'd be interested to know, just because sometimes it's nice to look at things from a positive and see what was good, because then we can go back to them and say, oh, this was good, but this was bad.
Yeah. We can make
to get that sandwich,
compliment sandwich or shit sandwich, as we call it.
I'm going to have to go back on the Diet Coke.
Mims, look at the super chat. Starting Rauno's deadlift Bible program this week and signed up for my first strongman comp in September.
Awesome,
that's
Mims.
awesome. Thanks for all you do for this community. Steak dinner on me if you ever make it to Maine. That's very kind. Thank you.
You
Mims.
guys are amazing.
And we hope you have great success with the Bible. Rauno is very proud of it. I hope
we're all proud of it. And Rauno's put a lot of time into this. He really has. He's just, Rauno was almost scared to do it at first because he didn't think anyone would be interested in it. It wasn't that long ago. People weren't even knowing who Rauno was.
Yeah.
And he's an amazing strength athlete and, an amazing deadlifter. He's been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
And we know he appreciates the sport, the support. He really does.
Connor.
Pavlo's next, by the way.
Oh, this is an interesting one. I think Pavlo's going to demolish this.
I think the fact that it seems to be a bit lighter will suit Pavlo.
Yeah, really he's fast. Well, he's so fast and so fit.
Oh, that doesn't help. 32 something.
Oh, for God's sake.
No
32 something.
That's all right.
Again.
That's all right. We'll see. We'll find out the official time.
No, it's not all right. Everyone's finishing on 32
something is. I need to know the official time.
Yeah.
When you're ready.
I said this would come down to hundredths. Connor, we would just listen to you in future.
I think Pavlo was 32.60.
So 0.05 seconds faster than Brian Shaw.
Yeah, this is...
It's too close, especially considering it's timed using stopwatches.
I don't like this.
No, me neither. It's too much. Too much is at stake for it to be this close.
Yeah.
Raise.
Normally, you're looking at a truck pull at Worlds, and they're around the 50 seconds to a minute mark. Sometimes slower than that at Worlds, because I remember it was 2011. It was a brutal truck pull. I'm going to check.
Raise, disappointing show, carry, fingers, dumbbell, now butts.
Apparently, 32.46.
Oh, okay. That puts him.
All right, that would put him ahead
of everyone
Trey.
So far.
That would put him in first.
Yeah, so far, but by 0.05 5 seconds or something. We don't mind the mix of events.
Bear in mind, Trey did 32.49, and this is 32.46.
0.03 of a second. Oh, for goodness sake. Thank you, Rays. But yeah, we don't mind the events, but we want to see better separation. Like Brian's rule of thirds, a third completing, a third doing okay, maybe struggling, a third not completing, something like that.
Yeah.
Brandon, thank you for the super chat. Had to work yesterday, so missed your commentary. I'm gutted for Brian, knowing it's the last one. How do you let that go and walk away? Winner equals moose. I think Brian can take a lot of consolation from the career that he's had, the support he has while he's out there. He'll be disappointed, but he's going to be okay as well. And the problem is, like Lars explained earlier, it will only get harder every single year. And I think it was Eddie who said to him, like, why have you decided this will be your last one? And Brian said, it's just time. And it's right. You know when it's the right time, don't you, to step away?
It's a tough thing to admit, but you do have to admit to yourself sometimes that you haven't got that hunger anymore on the regular basis.
Yeah.
And he's pushed hard for this and come up short. And that's because he's not who he used to be. It's so hard to accept it as fans. It was hard for me to accept it. I was like, you know, half of you wants it, but you're not quite the same.
Yeah.
And I can look back and honestly say, I realize now when the switch happened, but you try and convince yourself and you try and say the right things to kind of make yourself do it.
Yeah.
But eventually you get to that point where you're not as hungry as you used to be.
Eco something. Thank you for the super chat, Lost and Liz. I just want to thank you for the entire week. It's been an amazing experience and I'm hooked. Met you at Rogue 2022 and I only took a photo with Liz and Thor. Priorities. That sounds like you got some important people in the venue.
So I just want to show like the truck pool from 2011.
Yeah.
We had 2 guys finish. Brian Shaw finished in 62.81.
Yeah.
And Zadrunas finished in 71.63.
Yeah, that is a hard
The
truck
rest
pool.
of us only got distances. So Terry Hollins was third with a distance of 28.52.
Yeah.
I was next with 27.8.
That sounds much better though, to be fair. More grueling.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lozzie, we've got to get on because we've got so many.
Sorry,
we're so far behind.
Half 4 won it, actually.
Blaze, thank you for the super chat. I am Podium lists most USS and Strongman Corp events here in the States. That is helpful.
Thank you, Blaze. I appreciate you posting that.
Joe, thank you for the super chat. New to the Strongman community, and you guys make it feel like coming home. In my 30s, but would really like to compete after another year or so in the gym. Any advice for guys starting older?
Enjoy it. Like, it's a question that gets asked a lot, and my answer is always going to be the same. Focus on enjoying this first. It makes it so much easier, and we'll make sure that you keep doing it and keep coming back. Focus on your progress and have fun. As simple as that, guys.
David wanting to know, do we know of any Swedish strongmen pushing to compete in World's Strongest Man again, Lasso?
There's a couple of good Swedish athletes out there. Who won Sweden's Strongest Man this year? He's been to World's Strongest Man before. I can't remember his name now.
My mind's gone blank.
Yeah, this is the worst time to ask me these type of questions.
Yeah,
because I'm watching the results, but I do appreciate the questions, and these are things that on our normal lives are great to ask me. I'm less cloudy in the head, less distracted. But there's some really good Swedish athletes. I actually coach a few good up-and-coming Swedish athletes as well that I think in a few years will be very good. They still need to keep working hard and keep developing, but certainly give them 3 or 4 years, they could be very good. It might sound like a long time, but that's it. That's the reality. It takes time to get to a high level. But just keep enjoying it, keep progressing, and yeah, we'll see good athletes from all over.
Comrade, unfortunately, we cannot see your chat. Sorry about that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, what?
Alexei Novikov, 33-35.
Oh, that is...
He is done.
Yeah. Oh. Done as in out of contention for the win now. Yeah. This is crazy, though. It's 1 second slower. It's no time at all. And it's worth, what, 5 points so far? This is madness. I don't like it. I want to speak to the manager. Billy, is it static truck pull or moving with a harness on? Thanks for the coverage.
So they have a harness attached to them that's attached to the truck. The truck is behind them. They have a rope in front of them as well, and they're pulling with the rope and pushing with their legs.
Yeah, so it's not an arm over arm.
No,
it's
it's a harness and rope pull as opposed to an arm over arm pull, which would be a sat down.
Sorry, we're late to you. Alexi and Hooper will be sub 30. Book it. Sorry, mate, you were wrong, as we've just learned. 33 seconds. That was but yeah, just 1 second making such a huge difference in points is no good. I don't like it. It's too precarious. John, thank you for the super chat. This event is terrible. Way too light and everyone finishing too close. The winning time was 41 seconds last year and everyone has beat that so far. And last year people were saying it was too light.
This is something this is why I get wound up.
Because it's just simple things. It should be simple things.
Should be tested. They should be thinking, okay, that was, they've just had someone test it and went 32 seconds.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Jorian, thank you for the super chat. Am I watching Formula One or World's Strongest Man? Same time difference. I know. It does feel that way. Oh, man, this is painful.
It's been such a good competition up till this point. It's frustrating.
Why can't we watch the events? Will this change soon? New to the sport, struggle to understand why they can't put out something live would help grow. Yeah, I'd love a coffee, please. Thank you. Too sweetness. Thank you.
Yes, please. Coffee.
It's because of TV contracts, old TV contracts. Right now, CBS and Channel 5 mainly pay for exclusive rights, which means it hasn't been streamed elsewhere already. TV basically pays for the whole pot that it takes to put on the World's Strongest Man, because it is the biggest competition in terms of how much it costs to run. And I don't think there's much faith in the ability to get that much through pay-per-view to pay for it. But it is something that we know they're actively working on improving going forward.
Time so far, just to kind of let people know. Matt Ragg did 36.29, Alexei Novikov 33.35, and then we have 4 athletes on 32 seconds. Trey Mitchell 32.49, Pavlo Kordiaka 32.46, which is currently the fastest time. Brian Shaw 32.65, and Luke Stoltman 32.83. I can't get excited about that.
No. I feel quite sad about it actually, because people are losing a lot of points when there's not much difference.
Tommy is next. Let's see what the big man can do. He's got body weight.
Yeah.
But I think it would be, I don't know. We'll wait and see.
Mitchell, thank you for the super chat. Is it a shorter course? I think I heard you say 25 meters. I'm sure last year it was 30. Can you check if it was 30 last year?
25 meters is pretty much standard distance. I'm telling you, it's an easier pull just from experience. I can't make any excuses for anyone right now. These times are very, very quick, and it needs to be tougher.
Do you think that the runs should be retimed from camera footage when the times are this close? That's a lot riding on 0.03 seconds.
It is a lot riding on 0.03 seconds.
I think of frame by frame isn't a bad idea in this instance, because it's too much to lose, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dear.
It's interesting.
Stephen, thank you for the super
Tom, 32.27.
Where does that put him?
First.
Oh, okay.
But still 32 seconds.
I know. A fraction ahead of... Okay, so 0.2 seconds ahead of Pablo. This is crazy. Man alive. US Iron Podium website to sign up for most comps. There you go. Loz is who are you talking to?
People there.
Okay. Talk to the 8,000 people here, please.
US Iron Podium. Brilliant. Yeah, go and check on that, the Iron Podium. There's loads of comps. Actually, that's where most of my clients send me their competitions from. That's where I see the rules. So yeah, head on over there.
Brent, thank you so much for the super chat. From a Cerberus powerlifting ambassador to a Cerberus strongman athlete, keep up the phenomenal work. Love both of you.
Thank you very much,
Brent. Thank you. Oh, here we go. Arrived at 7:30 a.m. and there were already hundreds of people with ladders. I do events for a living, and this is 100% failure for attendees. From John. Thank you for the super chat, John. Yeah.
Thank you for letting us know, John. Thank you.
Yeah. No one's enjoying these results coming through. No one at all. And Loz isn't going to enjoy it when I have to run to the toilet because we've been drinking so much coffee. Boycott World's Strongest Man, focus on the other 3 big shows.
That doesn't help.
It doesn't, no.
World's Strongest Man helps all the other shows. Without World's Strongest Man, those shows will go away and won't grow. That's the reality. World's Strongest Man is the show that makes everything else grow.
Yeah.
So we don't want to work against them.
No.
We want to work with them and make them understand that it needs to be better.
Yeah.
But without World's Strongest Man, Strongman will cease to exist. It'll just go back to car park shows.
Yeah, the whole sport would shrink without World's Strongest Man bringing in
it's easy for us
fans.
to say, oh, this is crap. And I'm disappointed. I'm with you guys. I am disappointed with this. But us boycotting and saying we're not going to do it doesn't help. We need them to hear us. We need them to kind of listen to our feedback.
Yeah. Lozzie, take it over. Go on, read that one.
Diego, thank you for the super chat. In the States, Iron Podium is a great website for finding comps from multiple federations. Search by date or state. Yeah, thank you so much. That is the website that my clients send me their events on, and every single comp every client that sends me their comps is all the same. So you get the kind of, you see the weight classes, the events go over the top, and then you have a description of the events as well. So really good place to check out if you're looking for a competition. Thank you very much for sending that through. I think Mitch has this. I'm not confident because I just don't know what will happen with this truck pull. Mitch is up next. We'll see what happens. Ooh, come on, Mitch. Put in a performance. Sorry, be happy. Sorry, no compliments about this VIP experience. Totally ridiculous and unsat overall with having to be VIP at all of the US shows more than once. Horrible. I am really sorry to hear that, buddy. Really, I am. I'm sure if you've been to other shows, you know that's not normally the case. It's sad that people are having these experiences at the World's Strongest Man because it should be the best. Sorry, just keeping an eye on what's going on. Thank you for the best spreadsheet party ever. I've been to many. Come to Finland, visit Juha's gym, and I'll heat the smoke sauna for you guys. Oh, thank you very much. We would love to come over and see Yuko. That would be cool.
Okay.
Thanks, Mama.
Everyone say bye to Mama Shafe. She waved. Oh.
So Hooper is up.
I saw a comment saying that when a bus is in neutral, it's got a limiter, so it can't go over a certain speed. Don't know if that's true. This is why people say World's Strongest Man is too light. Geo. Yep. And it doesn't do them any favors, unfortunately. Fred, thank you for the super chat. Talk to World's Strongest Man for me. Next year they can use my semi truck, and if it looks too light, I can step on the brakes. Fred. Thank you, Fred. The words piss up and brewery spring to mind. Indeed. Thank you. All the way from Japan. If Mitch wins this, will he look excited, says Sai.
I'm sure.
We hope so. He's been getting very excited after each event, very passionate. It's because Colin isn't yelling, take the strain, says Brandon. There we go. That's where it's all going wrong.
Waiting on time.
This is beyond stupid. Sorry. Sad faces.
30.2.
Oh my goodness.
If that is the case,
that's 2 seconds faster than anyone else.
I need to have confirmation.
He needs confirmation. Joseph, thank you for the super chat.
30.24 for Mitch Hooper. He is into first place.
Wow. He's going to be hard to beat now. So,
I still do not agree with this truck pull.
No, still can't support the weight of this.
But
and
I'm happy
the
that Mitch won.
Yeah, of course. But everyone wants... it's hard, isn't it? Oh, God, hold on. I'm in the wrong World's Strongest Man. So I'm just going to give you guys an update on the scores as they are. We're just
still
waiting.
Evan Singleton to come.
Oh, of course, Evan.
There's
Sorry.
still Evan Singleton
Come on, Evan.
Evan's been doing well. I'm shaking. Because looking at those times, it worried me that anything could happen.
Yeah, and it has though, hasn't it? Look, 1 second is the difference between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points.
But Mitch Hooper was 2 seconds faster.
He was, yes, he was considerably faster than the rest. Yeah, well, considerably. When 2 seconds is considerably faster, then you know the times are too close. Yeah. Joseph, thank you for the super chat. Thank you both for amazing coverage and content this year. 0.03 second time difference being timed on stopwatches. Absolute madness. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And then, does World's Strongest Man pay for athletes travel and lodging from D-mode? Yes, they do. All
They
expenses
pay
are
for the
paid.
flights, accommodation,
and
food for the athletes.
Yeah, not for partners.
They don't pay for partners. So
No.
I believe partners, I don't know the rule, what it is exactly right now. Like when I was back competing, Liz could obviously stay in my room, but we'd have to pay for her flight and her food.
Yes. 89 Sod, thank you for the super chat. A somber one here, but our friend's daughter has been diagnosed with cancer and we're raising money to send her for treatment. Any chance you could pin her GoFundMe in case anyone can spare even £1? I'll send separately if able.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you can put that into the chat, and if one of the mods could pin it for me, that would be amazing.
There you go. I'm sorry to hear that, and wish her all the best of her recovery. Definitely. Paul, thank you for the super chat.
We'll donate as well ourselves.
Trying to simultaneously watch the live stream, the Strongman archive spreadsheet, and the Detroit Tigers game, multitasking at its finest. You're doing better than us.
Doing a good job.
Strongman Archives lists the 2022 bus pool as 30 meters. Thank you for checking that for us, Rays. And it does, like, they might make it longer if they think it's lighter.
Yeah, so this one probably could have done with being longer.
Yeah, and heavier.
I haven't seen a 30-second World's Strongest Man pull in a long time.
30 meter.
No, 30
oh, a 30 seconds. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
There you go. I know what you're saying now.
There you go.
Is it fixed for Mitch? It's not fixed for anyone.
I can promise you it's not fixed for any athlete, despite what people try and say.
Yeah.
Things can sometimes go into people's favor, but it's like Mitch, if you watch the shield carry, you can see it's not fixed for Mitch.
No. Brian has an event where it's super heavy. He takes care of the fans, he takes care of the athletes, and we can watch via pay-per-view. World's Strongest Man needs to take note. And also Giants Live, Arnold's, Rogue. Do you know what I mean? Lots of promoters doing really great things for the fans and for the athletes. So yeah, the athletes are well looked after, but it has been a bit of a shocking fan experience, and this event in particular.
Yeah.
I've liked all the events up until this. I thought some of the fingers times were a bit fast, but
that's, you
it
know,
kind of is what it is. I think maybe people were better than we anticipated.
Or similar standard to each other.
Yeah, I guess.
But truck pulling to be that close is odd.
Yeah. 5 athletes within 1 second right now. What a joke.
Well, if you think that Novikov won the truck pull last year, he's come second to last. I thought, well, he's 8th technically because we've got an athlete missing.
It's a disaster for Novikov, a complete disaster. He'll be very upset. David, I cannot see your
Evan
comment.
is the last athlete up and he's waiting for the whistle.
Oh, and also Jason, I cannot see your comment. You have to be so careful. Don't hit the button until you've typed your comment because it disappears. And then we just get this little blob. But thank you so much for the attempts. We'll keep an eye out for your comments. It used to be 30 meters pool. The one from 2011 that Loz read before had Terry in third without finishing with 27.8. So I guess
it wasn't always.
Meters,
it's been a mixture of 25 and 30 meters at World's Strongest Man. But this one seems, you know, if you go and look at all the times
Jason's
from the past World's Strongest Man, these are the fastest.
I'm curious how the timing is started and stopped. Seems like there could easily be a sub 1 second margin of error. Absolutely. I'm guessing no, and Rob's asking a similar question. It's not one person. What it usually is a few people on a stopwatch, and then they take the median time. Would it be the mean? I don't know. I'm no mathematician.
I'm not there. I don't know. I don't want to say that for sure because we're not seeing what's going on.
No,
and it's not always the same system.
No, it's
Evan 32.20. That can't be right.
No, because that's exactly the same as Tom.
Apparently, Evan and Tom have the exact same time. 32.27 for Evan, 32.27 for Tom. That's ridiculous in itself.
So what? Split points on a truck pull?
I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know. I haven't seen these are not the official results yet.
No, I guess not.
We will wait and see. But this has been a weird truck pull.
Weird.
I can't even obviously I'm happy for Mitch, but I can't get that excited about it because it's just a weird one. But we'll try and keep everyone up to date with what looks like the overall scores.
Charles, did the stone off of Rano cost Brian a podium? It would have certainly
taken a lot out of him. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
He looked fresher in the heats, and after that stone off, he seems to have faded.
Yeah.
Rano is going to be the devil.
He is a devil. Jason should have put fans on the bus. Maybe more could have watched then and
Do
made
you know
it
what?
harder.
That's a great idea. I did I went, for those that know, in the UK, there's a program called Blue Peter, and I went into a bus pool with a double-decker bus full of kids, and my daughter got to come as well, which was cool.
Yeah.
And did it on the show, and it, you know, having that many extra people on, it makes it harder.
Yeah. Jiminy Cricket should have went with the inflatable banana. Stop.
Right. Who wants to see the overall scores after the bus pool?
Go on then.
This may change slightly with these ridiculous times. I cannot believe 2 athletes are on 32.27 points. But anyway, Mitch Hooper, 44.5 points.
Okay.
Tom Stoltman is second with 39 points. Alexei Novikov is on 34 points. Evan Singleton is on 33.5 points in 4th place. Trey Mitchell in 5th with 31.5 points. Pavlo Kordiaker is next, 27.5 points. Brian Shaw is in 7th with 22.5 points. Luke Stoltman is in 8th on 18.5. Matt Ragg is in 9th on 16.5. And Jaco Schoenwinkel obviously had to pull out. He's on 5.5.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know what to say. Like, I should be excited, and I am. I'm happy that Mitch is doing well, but
yeah, of course.
I want the sport to get better, God damn it.
Yeah. We want every event to be non-questionable. No, do you know what I mean? No,
I want a
weirdness.
rule book, and I want things tested better.
And he wants
World's
it now.
Strongest Man, listen to me.
Was it 10 minutes ago? Stephen, thank you for the super chat. They should take the VIP ticket money and put it in the athlete prize pot. We don't know what they do with that. Yeah. We don't know like all the ins and outs, especially.
There's so much that goes on,
yeah.
guys. There really is. There's so much to
Yeah.
it. This is a big, big production. But we want better than that. It's been good so far, the events. This one was disappointing.
Yeah. Rebecca, thank you for the super chat. Love the weight parties. Watching with my wife and our son Ethan, who is coached by Lars, coming to Gloucester.
Ethan is doing awesome
gets
as
to
well.
Meet his coach.
He will indeed. If you guys come to Gloucester, and we'll have to get Ethan over to the gym as well. And I say this to all my clients: if you ever get the opportunity to be in Swindon, you want to come and train with me, you are welcome. Also, sometimes I've been able to train with some of my clients when I travel as well. It's not always easy because I'm busy when I'm traveling.
Yeah.
But we have made it happen a few times.
Definitely.
And they've ended up on the channel.
Yeah, they have. Yeah. I'm just trying to see what time our next live is scheduled for. Do you mind just reading that, please, Les?
Ryan, thank you for the super chat. Some internet fans. World's Strongest Man is full of elaborate conspiracy, malicious controlling. Who wins? Meanwhile, the World's Strongest Man. How the F do you build a riser? Love the sport and just want to see more growth. Absolutely, Ryan. That is where we stand. I'm disappointed in this event, but that's not a reason to just shit on the sport. We want the sport to get bigger and better. They need to understand that things have to improve. Hopefully they do look at things and make it better for next year. We always, we've been impressed with what they're saying. It's now making sure you deliver.
Yeah.
And keep getting it better. And I've seen progress. This is disappointing this year that this has been an experience that people have had. Now, hopefully next year they will look at improving it. But without World's Strongest Man, the sport does not grow.
No.
The Shore Classic does not grow. Giants Live does not grow. People doing their own other things, it does not grow.
No.
World's Strongest Man brings more eyes and more money to the sport than any other show.
It's true. John, thank you for the super chat. Maybe 5 vendors in the fan festival area. OSG was much better. Move into a stadium. I pay $100 for general seating. Free isn't an excuse.
The thing that makes me laugh, a lot of people kind of blame Colin and Darren, thinking that they have control. Colin and Darren own OSG, and people will say OSG is great, but they'll go to like Giants Live and say it's great and then complain about World's Strongest Man. Darren does an amazing job.
Yeah.
But Darren he's not the boss at World's Strongest Man. He's there.
They actually put on the competition part on the ground. So IMG, everyone makes all these decisions. And then it's like, right, Colin and Darren, get your athletes ready. Make sure they're in the right place at the right time. They do all that part of things. So they actually, a tournament director, they run the competition side of it on the ground. But the things like all of those things, they have no control over, because I don't think they'd do it like that, considering how they do their other shows. Fingers, can you give a brief history of the World's Strongest Man? If so split. There's no
brief
way
history,
of doing
but
it.
we are
It's
planning
such
a video on that.
Yes.
We've been putting a lot of research in. Actually, one of our mods has been putting a lot of research in for us.
He's a journalist who's written a great
and there is
article.
That's a video that we do want to plan. We just need to get a few more interviews done and be something that we'll work harder on in like the off season when there's a bit more time to focus on. But it is an interesting story.
Yeah, there's no too long didn't read version of that though, and it's worth hearing it all because it's juicy. Buspool made me lose interest in the final result. That is a shame. We will see.
The stones to go. I mean, Mitch is in a great position, but Tom is an amazing stone lifter. Nothing is decided, but we could have the first ever Canadian champion, which I'm excited for. Obviously, I'm just a little deflated in that truck pull. Yeah. But let's not forget that Mitch Hooper has almost won every event that he's done at this World's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
So I don't think people can turn on him and say, and to be quite honest, these were not the best events for Mitch.
No. With the exception of the Fingles Fingers and the throw, he has won every event or been joint first.
And the Fingles Fingers he'd never done before. Truck pull he's done once before in competition, and he was terrible. Stones are not his best event.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Dumbbell. If you looked at his dumbbell at the beginning of the year, he wasn't great at dumbbell. He's just worked damn hard on it. His deadlift was solid, but we've worked hard on getting that better. He's just a great all-round athlete, and he just won the Arnolds. He won his comp that he did before that. He won his comp that he did. No, he didn't. He was third at the Rogue Invitational, and he won 2 comps before that. He's just an incredible athlete.
Sim, thank you for the super chat. They can still take this whole event up from the scores. There is still a save. I would bet my house on that never happening in a million years. They would not do that. Yeah. Never, ever, ever. No, they wouldn't. Chad, thank you for the super chat. Been watching your channel for hours over the last few days. You are more than earned all the donations. Keep up the awesome work. Thank you. Ooh. And I know some people get a little bit funny in the comments saying they only respond to super chats. We would be streaming 24/7 if we addressed all the other comments too. On a normal week, it is not like this. You can join. We have a chat about events going on and stuff. It's much more laid back. Far fewer people watching, and no one ever has to super chat, but we do appreciate it.
Massive, like the support that you guys have given us this week is just overwhelming. To be honest, it's amazing. And if you stick with us and come back to some of our chats on the weekends, normally we do a live on a Sunday night. Yeah, it's much more intimate, much less people on. We have time to chat to people, go through all these other questions that my mind is completely foggy with right now today. Yeah. But thank you so much, because this week it builds our channel more than any other week.
Yeah, and it really helps pay for us to do the stuff on the channel for the rest of the year as well. Because sometimes we go places at a loss, like we don't make any money, but we still want to be able to cover these things that don't necessarily make money. So this week really helps with that.
And he's an under 105 athlete from second in his last 6 comps. Good man, getting on coaching with me so we can win LA's Strongest this year. Let's do it, buddy. Awesome. Look forward to working with you.
Pie, thank you for the super chat. There's a moose on the loose. His to lose now. Yeah, there is a moose on the loose in this hoose. So he is, because it's a half point as well, it may as well be 5 points. Like you round it up, because you have to, like, someone would have to beat him by another full placing, if that makes sense, to get that 1 extra point up on him. But we'll see how it all is. We'll be back soon. I mean, it's supposed to start in about 30 minutes at the Stones. I do not see it starting on time. No, our stream is supposed to start in 30 minutes.
Okay. We'll probably take a slightly longer break than that.
Yeah, because I think it's gonna be a longer break.
Try and find out what's going on.
Curious if the rain factors into the decision of the pool being light due to potential limited traction. No, because it looks dry.
It was totally dry today. The rain did nothing.
Yeah.
No, the rain was yesterday. Today it was dry as a bone there.
Yeah, it is dry. We can see it's dry. So yeah. Dan, thank you for the super chat. At World Strongest Man level, truck ball should be timed with a laser timing gates that the truck breaks rather than relying on human reaction time. 100% agree. Yeah. Yeah. And it shouldn't be too hard, surely. It should be readily available technology. Michael, thank you for the super chat. Since he's retiring World Strongest Man, would it be smart to hire Brian to help run the competition?
Not necessarily.
They have done that before with athletes. Like a lot of
who's run.
Not run the competition, but they have had, like, they would never get one person to run it, because it doesn't matter who you are and what your great ideas are. You have to get your ideas past a whole board of people who are going to veto anything that you try and implement. but they have had people like Jamie Reeves stay on, Yuko Ahala, Bruce Wilhelm.
As referees, though, not as running the comp.
Yuko Ahala wasn't a referee. He was like the...
Yuko Ahala was a referee for a couple of Britain's Strongest Man.
But he was also in another role at World's Strongest Man at one point.
Okay.
But the short answer is they'll never get someone to run the comp.
Also, would Brian want to? Brian's got so many of his own things to focus on as well.
True. Yeah. Simon, thank you for the super chat. Impossible to separate 1/10 of a second on a stopwatch. It is. Like, human reaction time is not that fast or consistent or reliable. Jonathan, thank you for the super chat. Winning World's Strongest Man isn't that big a deal. It's not even that important. Mitch Hooper, probably. Hopefully not.
No chance.
No.
I've seen some of the reactions to the events.
Yeah,
this is important to him.
Yeah. Gone Fishing, thank you for the super chat. Nobody was saying World's Strongest Man was too light before this event, which does suck. The recency bias is strong with this group. Don't let this spoil it all. And no, I agree. It's one event out of the whole competition where I've thought, the deadlift was a lot harder this year in the final than it has been in the previous 2 years.
Yep.
Like, no one can say a max effort event isn't heavy. The shield carry is heavier than we've had in previous years. The Fingals is a really tough event. The Atlas Stones are a heavy run as well. So it is just one event out of the 6, but obviously we want all 6 to be spot on where possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dear. All right, we'll quickly mop up the rest of these before we go and have a little break, Harvey. And this is how Mitch is doing with bad events. Imagine if it was a yoke and some of his other great events in there. Yeah. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you very much.
And, I can't say it. No, I don't know. A friend from Japan. It's almost 3 a.m. here, but I'm staying up all night just to see Loz's reaction when Mitch takes the title.
Like, he's in a great position now, but I'm still nervous.
Yeah.
Because anything can happen in Strongman, and we've seen anything happen before.
Unless you're 10 points clear of second place, you're going to be nervous.
Unless it's guaranteed.
Yeah.
You know, he's in a great position, and he will be able to go in the last pairing, and he doesn't need to beat Tom. He needs to make sure he's no lower than probably 6 places behind him, which is a very nice position to be in.
Yeah.
But he's still got to do it.
I believe it used to be World's Strongest Man that brought fans in, but now it's influencers and athletes with YouTube channels doing it. I think World's Strongest Man got left behind. World's Strongest Man is still a hugely important part of it. Like, social media has helped the growth massively, thanks to athlete channels and influencers, but World's Strongest Man still play a really huge role in bringing new eyes to the sport.
Yeah. Look, without World's Strongest Man, there'd be no Brian, there'd be no Thor, and there'd be no Eddie. So think of it that way. Without World's Strongest Man, we probably wouldn't know who those guys are. No. It's as simple as that. And we can say they've made it bigger, but if there wasn't World's Strongest Man, they wouldn't be here. Yeah. So
it's true.
You have to kind of look at it.
What came first, the chicken or the egg? Yeah. This was a super chat from Shelby. Loz, what is the best way to increase grip on and speed on farmers and other moving events? Speed,
you need to work on. Don't train too heavy on things. You know, you've got to. I think one of the best ways to work on speed is just time yourself and give yourself that target to beat. So multiple runs to focus on speed and time. Training grip, there's many ways you can train grip. I've got a few videos on my Instagram, if you look on there, that I've put up, and I plan on doing more things about grip on YouTube as well.
No, thank you for the super chat. Sometimes a slight incline on the pull course as well.
Huge. Yeah, sometimes a stone in front of the tire can make a huge difference. If you're on an incline, massive difference.
Yeah.
The truck pulling is so different every time you do it. That's why it really needs to be tested well.
Who is actually in charge of the weight of the truck? They mess this one up. It's a combination. So there's the equipment team, the sponsors have a say in events, and then the actual organizers too. Yeah, this one does not feel right.
Yeah, they need to get it better tested next time.
We need to start working with 0.001 accuracy. It's crazy.
Crazy that on a truck pull to see 2 guys tie is pretty mental.
Yeah. Are we up together with super chats? I think we are. Nope. Oh, finest Jelly Beans, thanks for joining us. The human eye has a reaction time of 0.25 seconds. Like 6 of the guys are within that amount of time of each other with it timed by hand. Yeah. Well, we're with you guys. We agree. We don't think it should spoil the whole competition, but we agree it's wrong. It's off. Yeah. Andreas, thank you for the super.
Do you know what I'm happy about? And I'll say like
that he was 2 seconds faster.
Yeah, Mitch was 2 seconds faster
and
than
not
anyone
0.2.
So he's not in that kind of group where people can go, oh, he only won it because of this hand timing reason.
No.
Mitch is a clear winner in that.
Yeah.
So people should kind of look at that result and think, okay, those 7 guys have been within a few, like a hundredths of a second of each other, but Mitch is 2 seconds faster.
I believe this year they all get an opportunity to dispute a result and to have it watched back. Yeah. I bet this is when everyone uses it. So who knows, maybe it does change, but it will be a nightmare for the organizers if those athletes who are all on 32 seconds want their times reviewed, and it's going to push back the Atlas stones even further. Andreas, thank you for the super chat. Assuming everyone gets right, Mitch only needs to be 5th on the stone, and his stone's improved a hell of a lot. So I guess it is over. Well, also, you've got to consider Jaco Scrimwinkel is out now. So you've just got to lift 1 stone to get 2 points, because the 1 point would have gone to the last place. So the worst you can score, as long as you're able to do something now, is 2 points. So it's not over till it's over, but we will see. Lars would never count his chickens too early, would you, Lazo?
Never. I've been in comps, like when I'm in a leading position in a comp, you never, as an athlete, you never know what's going to happen. You have to focus. I've just had Mitch message me, and he's focusing as if it's just one more event, and he needs to give it 100%. He's not looking at the scores. He's focused on what he's done. And I've just said, focus on being smooth and steady. Focus on 1 stone at a time. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing. Just focus on your lane and your stones. That's all you can control. What will be with everything else, you let happen. But he needs to keep his mindset on 1 Atlas stone at a time.
7 and 7, 5 points for Mitch to win. It's exciting. I feel a bit deflated after that last. I'm so happy for Mitch to be in this position, but I feel bad for
himself being in that position with all the other performances he's put in.
Yeah, I just feel bad for all the guys who are on 32 seconds, some within like
that's a weird one,
tiny fraction, or even on the exact same time as another athlete. That's crazy.
No, I wasn't. We didn't get to see that event.
No, so we know.
But if I'm Tom Stoltman and his coach, I'd be thinking, I want to watch this again.
I want it reviewed
because maybe I get that extra half a point.
Yeah, and it means everything at this level, at this stage. Daniel, VIP ticket in prize pot sounds like it should be refunded, if anything. Yeah, indeed. Deary me.
Did they put like food on for people and stuff like that?
But apparently it was not good food. Okay. Yeah, gas
I
station
don't know.
food. I've heard. Yeah. Al Prescott looks like Brian's worst place after making World's Strongest Man will be 7th, being his 15th straight and his last at 41. What a career! Lay it all on at the Shore Classic. 100%.
Absolutely. And you know, he's still got the Shore Classic to focus on. And I'm sure that is going to be a hell of a celebration for him wherever he places. He's going to have so many fans turn up to that. The athletes are all going to be, you know, in a great mood, regardless of how they've placed. They're going to want to kind of send Brian off the way he deserves.
Yeah, 100%. Andreas, not impressed at all with the bus pull. Matthew, this is something we hear every year. It seems like world's fittest strongman, the world's strongest man. It's one event. I think there's been enough good, heavy events to contradict that statement.
I want to point out, because people ask me how I do in this competition. I hated the events from the start. Like for me, not my best events. Yeah. But that doesn't mean anything because strongman events change all the time.
Yeah. Summer Johnson, is handsome Pablo single? Asking for a friend. Sorry, Summer. He has a very lovely and beautiful wife. No, he is not single.
Hope you're well, Summer.
Men like him do not stay on the shelf. Thank you for becoming a channel member.
If he does become single, will we still be a couple?
We'll become single too. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No. Voz, thank you for the super chat. Given the crowds at the Giants live shows draw, surely...
I'm now glad the ref was strict on him.
Screw you. Surely World's Strongest Man at a UK indoor event is the way to go. No weather or seating issues and full seats.
Love to see it.
Yeah, maybe it's the only way to do it and to tick all the boxes and give fans the best experience. Connor, thank you for the super chat. Everything happens for a reason. Hopefully this serves as a wake-up call to World's Strongest Man that they need to get better. Indeed. Oh, they'll get a lot of slack for this on social media. Impossible to separate 1/10 of a second on a stopwatch, Simon. Have we gone backwards? Because I swear I read that one. All right, we are up together with Super Chat. So we are going to go now and have a little break before the Atlas Stones. No, there's one more snuck in. Absolutely agree. Colin and Darren respond to the hurricane issue very well. This is certainly not their issue. It's poor event planning. Absolutely, John. Thank you for the super chat. And also Scotty Lace. Top 5 finish for Mitch on Atlas Stone is enough. Yes, it is. Yep. And then Ronan, can Evan get to the podium after Stones? Go Moose.
Got a chance.
And Anna, Loz,
The
I'm
Stones
a bit
are scheduled for 3 p.m., which is in an hour.
Yeah, we'll see though. We'll find out. We'll do another community post. Loz, I'm a bit deflated for the truck pull. Me, you know what isn't deflated? Those damn truck tires. Oh, Mr. Gonzonator, thank you for the super chat. If Mitch wins, will you grow a moustache, Loz? Absolutely, he will not. No.
Give it a good twiddle.
Give it a good twiddle.
All right, guys. We will.
Oh God! Please, no more super chats. That is a stupid thing. So it's the Moose versus the King of the Stones for the trophy. It is. Right.
There's a few more.
Okay.
I'll go down.
Predictions for third place: Novi, Evan, or Trey.
Do you know what? Who's in third at the moment? Who's in fourth?
In third.
How much behind is Trey? Because Trey could pick up some points on the Stones.
Evan is in fourth place, half a point behind Alexei, and then Trey is 2 points behind Evan.
I reckon Trey could
2.5 points.
Well, both of them. It could be close.
It could be either.
Could be real close for
I'd
third
be
place.
surprised if it was still Alexei.
How much do we collectively need to donate for you to organise the Loz and the Liz Invitational? It would, to put on a really good show, it needs to be quite a substantial amount.
It would
to be
cost
honest.
a few $100,000.
Yeah, because you want to make sure the location is good. You want to make sure everything's done.
Yeah, I mean, we know that Giants Live, just the venues alone, it's like £200,000 for a venue for a night, and so that's the reality.
Tom needs to win the Stones and hope that Mitch finishes, I think, outside the top 6.
Yeah,
I'll work it out properly before we get back on.
Yeah. World Strongest Man experience has been infinitely better thanks to you two. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Guys, don't put any more super chats in right now. We need to have a half an hour break. So we'll try and mop these ones up, but we'll be back for the Stones. So make sure you guys join us then. Only 3 athletes have won Arnold Strongman Classic, World Strongman Sound in the same year. Thor, Z, and Brian. That is some esteemed company who find himself in. Absolutely.
It's not
something and we will go ballistic if it happens.
We will.
But I'm not counting any chickens yet. He's got to do the business.
Adam, how long will World Strongest fans stop for once Brian does Stones? I predicted a lot of cheering and tearing once he ran. That's true.
It's going to be.
There could be a bit of a delay. That's a good point.
Moment,
Evan now half a point off the podium.
It'd be great to see Evan get on the podium.
Oh God, yeah. And thank you so much for the super chat. UK Strongman fan for decades. Not sure why people are so annoyed. It's the same for everyone.
Absolutely. It's frustrating because, we want things done as well as possible, but it's the same for everyone. People say, oh, they did it to favor such and such.
That's nonsense.
That's bollocks.
No, that's
I can promise you, I've competed at Worlds 11 times.
Yeah.
You've got to still go out and perform.
Staff, thank you for the super chat. Wife and I have been watching as always. Love the content, guys. Mitch won't take his foot off the gas, but has a slight cushion. He has been amazing. He has.
He really has.
They are 11 events in, 10 for Mitch because he didn't have to do the stone off. He has only not won 2 events: the throw in the heats and the fingers in the final.
Yeah. Someone says his Pav's
Pav Shield still it's disputable. I imagine as soon as everyone was done, it got to the point where it was no longer disputable.
There was people saying that he didn't cross the line the other side and he should have had 40 meters taken off. So I think that would have been really harsh.
That would have been awful.
I wasn't there. I don't want to get involved.
Reviews are fickle. Tom could gain half a point or lose.
Yes, absolutely. He could. Maybe Evan wants to complain and maybe Evan goes half a point ahead. But
it's true. Yeah. Someone might have got lucky with their time and find they complain, and then boom, they find themselves in a worse position afterwards.
Right. I think we're getting close.
Simon, I'm here live. Mitch only needs top 6 on Stones.
He needs to focus just on his performance. Nothing
more. Super chat. Thanks for doing this, Nuzzle. We do appreciate it.
Honestly, guys,
we really don't
you
want to
have
sound
no
ungrateful.
idea how amazing this
has been a long week.
Right, we are caught up. Thank you all so much. We'll be back as soon as we need to be. We'll go and find out what's going on. I need a little bit of food and probably a drink, actually. I don't drink, but I might have a drink.
Let's get a drink. Right. See you soon.